Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying, man? Tiago, what's up, man? Close out the game. Close out the game. Pretty healthy scoring distribution across all four quarters. Not anything too crazy out of pocket. Zion Williamson paced the New Orleans Pelicans with 26, 4 and 7. Then you have Brandon Ingram right behind him, 25, 4 and 5. Jonas Valanciunas doing things that he does, 14 and 13. Overall balanced scoring attack. On their end of the spectrum, for us, Omer, you're at 7, obviously starting over Walker Kessler, 7 points, 10 boards, 2 assists. Walker actually in only 4 minutes of more action with 14, 8, and 3. So that was healthy to see from him. Chris, what's up, man? Logic, yes, sir. Jordan Clarkson had a surprisingly interesting game, I would say. Finn, yes, sir. Oh, tonight's a good night. Glad to see the Jazz can compete again, and play some defense. Yes, absolutely. Especially without Lowry Markkinen finding a way to get it done again with Jordan Clarkson now inserted back into the lineup. It was definitely a lot more interesting than a lot of people will give it credit for. Fontecchio, getting some minutes, 28 in fact, which, if memory serves me right, is a season high. I know he did obviously play in the last one heavily, but I still think he outplayed. I think he definitely outperformed himself this time around for natural reasons. THT 5, 3, and 7. Kelly Olynyk at 19 minutes, triple fours. Colin Sexton in 18 minutes, 11 and 2. Ochai 12 points in 16 minutes. So, overall, not anything too nasty across the board. Anything to be super unimpressed with. Keontae obviously 19, 5, and 3. Jordan Clarkson did take over that playmaking role a lot more surprisingly than a lot of people were expecting. Yep. Let's see. What a game for Keontae. Absolutely. The efficiency was there tonight. 48 minutes of having a center on the floor is helping our defense so much. Let's go. Literally. Didn't see the game. Just got here. Just here to. It was a good one, Logic. I'll say that. Overall, shooting from the field, the most interesting thing is they hit more field goals than us. They shot better from the field. They were 44 for 88. We were 37 of 88 from the field. But we were also 35.5% from 3, shooting 17 for 48, whereas they were 31%, 7 for 22. So really, we just won the 3-point battle. Low key. Very low key. That also would lead us to understand that our interior defense was not, just 2-point defense was not perfect. But when you hit your shots on the outside, you can afford to not be perfect. Obviously, free throws, they only hit 68% of theirs, going 17 to 25. We were 82%, 23 of 28. Let's see. Thinking about going to a Jazz game in 2024. Which one should I aim for? Honestly, I'm not sure, Chris, because I'm really trying to find a way to get out there to a Jazz game. Once I do pass the 1,000 subs thing, I think I'm gonna pull all that money together over a good month. And I think that should cover. Well, I guess I have to do a plane ticket too, so I can't just do a seat. But I'll let you know when I decide which one I'm gonna try and go to. Tiago, you said your 7's impact has really been good recently. Yes, absolutely. And there was a thing that I feel like we all, at the very least in our chat, we knew that year 7 was going to have a positive effect if he played more minutes, because there was a lot of games where it was like, oh, even giving him 10 minutes would be something nice to see, and we didn't see him play at all, right? So him being able to get some quality minutes, get some quality burn, and just be that extra big that a lot of people felt we needed alongside Walker to take some of the stress off Walker, so Walker's not expected to do amazing things all the time. It helps. It definitely helps. Nados said great energy in the team today. Absolutely. Couldn't ask for really much better, honestly, across the board. The guys really just got the job done. And you said Kessler was good, but so was everyone. Even Sexton. Kelly Olynyk was awesome today. Yeah. Always kind of surprised how much he can impact the game. He still fouls too much, yeah, but I guess he can't change it. Yeah, that's something that we have to keep an eye on with Kelly Olynyk, but it's like, it's good to have him on the roster, and I would say we hesitate to trade him right now because obviously we don't have the complete playmaking identity that a lot of teams tend to have. Obviously, Keontae George had like a down-ish kind of day from playmaking just because his shot was falling, so he was willing to take more of those shots, which is also healthy. You want to make sure he's willing to do that. And Jordan Clarkson also helped pick up some of that load, um, which we know he's not always going to be likely or capable of doing. But this was one of the good nights where he was able to do it. So we'll take it. As simple as that. To go, you said I was impressed with John's defense on Zion. Yes. Usually, I mean, I guess they're more so a match made in heaven in a certain sense, because Zion is really athletic, but he doesn't have the same burst as some small forwards and power forwards have. Obviously, it's partially in part because of his frame, but also he's just not the fastest person going 0 to 60. So in that sense, I think that was a more positive matchup for John Collins, and he really just had to hold his ground against Zion, as opposed to facing off against somebody that's significantly quicker than him and having to chase him all across the court. Because you said I live in Idaho, so I have to drive 6 hours. Hopefully, it won't be for a loss. Absolutely, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm in North Carolina actually, so it'll be. I'm definitely gonna have to take a flight. I mean, I got to see how long that drive is. But I know it will be insane. I know the drive will be insane. Um, well, then when Keontae put Dyson Daniels in a body bag, is there? Yep, it's already a 17-second highlight if you go to the Utah Jazz ESPN page. Jackson, what's up, man? You said, what are your thoughts on Simon's play tonight? I feel like he has deserved a spot in our lineup after these 2 games. He's definitely proven that he deserves to see the court. The biggest thing with Fontecchio is he's not going to be a great defender. This is just an understood thing. So when you're a team that's trying to find your defensive identity, you say, well, how can I play this man? And tonight he rewarded them by hitting his shots. That's the biggest thing he can do. If he can hit his shots, he can play, because we know he's not going to get an amazing number of stops on defense, right? But as long as he's able to be consistent and actually see the floor, and when he does play in the game, he's actually scoring, it excuses a lot of the transgressions that he can have on the defensive side of the ball, because he's balancing it out with his 3-point shooting and just his shot making skills when the ball touches his hand. And you need that because this team doesn't. We have some shooting, but we don't have shooters. So he fits that niche of like a shooter, but he's not necessarily in that 3-and-D category, which is still important to have those types of guys on the roster. Tay, what's up, man? Yes, sir. Jazz Nation. I think you said today's best play was about 3 minutes 30 left. 3 minutes 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Sexton drive, passed the ball to Kelly. Kelly passed the ball to Kessler for a free dunk. It was a nice ball. Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't actually understand how much Colin Sexton has improved. When you think about Colin Sexton, he's effectively Jordan Clarkson with better shooting splits and a little bit less height and more effort on defense. The defense ends up looking out the same because there's some plays where he's going to be there and he's going to have a hand up, but he's just too little, right? That's just the fact of the matter. That's something that as a fan of the team, whatever team you're rooting for, if you have Colin Sexton on your team, you understand that. But he's never going to not try, which is something that you have to appreciate for that. On the offensive side of the ball, though, when his shot isn't falling, or even if it is falling, him understanding when it's time to make the right read and go ahead and get that ball kicked out comes down to a chemistry and synergy he has to have with his teammates. And particularly when you have a player like Kelly Olynyk on the floor, who's known for his playmaking as a forward and not so much for his ability to score and give you 20 points a night, he's definitely going to enjoy having him on the floor, because once you find him, if you swing it to him, if there's a pass that you did not make yourself, Kelly's got your back. He's going to make that play for you, or he's going to make that extra swing to get somebody open. All you got to do is make the initial pass and get that initial action going. So I would agree a play like that would make me personally the best play of the game. Tiago said, "Yo, Tayen, yup, Tayen figured out the key to the success besides turnovers and shooting well." Yeah, Jordan Clarkson getting a double-double. I know, right? I agree with Fontecchio playing for once. His defense has improved miles from last year. Yeah, he's also not. I didn't want him to make it seem like he can only score on catch and shoot shots, and he's just absolutely acidic on defense. That's not what I was saying. But defense has never been his calling card, despite, sometimes him having a positional size advantage over the player that he's defending, just because the athleticism and the quick twitch isn't necessarily there the entire time. But overall, his foundation today in particular, I'll go ahead and give him credit. Last game, it was also there, but I feel like this game defensively, he was more present in the moment a lot of times, which allows him not to get exposed quite simply. Because there's nothing easier to do than to expose a player who doesn't pop out and really put their best foot forward every single time. Because if you look lackadaisical on defense, odds are you're going to be an easy kill. Point blank, period. Kessler looked fantastically the last two games. Great D and feasting out of the dunker. Yeah. Yep. I'd like to see Kessler get more involved like we got him involved today, right? Like the first game, he was involved a little bit, but still not ideally so. The way we were able to put him into action today, though, was definitely commendable, and I appreciated the guys going out of their way to make sure that he was a piece of the puzzle. 4 of Kessler's 5 fouls were BS. Ref smelled like busted ups with wet dog tonight. The night guy, bro. I haven't seen you in the chat in forever, man. How's it going? I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the fouls that the refs were calling today, but at the end of the day, you got to play the cards. What is it? You got to play the cards where they're dealt, the way they're dealt, and that's just how the cookie crumbled for us today. Jackson, you said, do you think Ochai should start over Fontecchio? Also, completely agree with Sexton playing great for us off the bench. He deserves a lot more love than I feel he gets. For sure. I'm a Colin Sexton guy, so defend until he's so bad I cannot. But I would say right now, Ochai brings a great level of defense. The issue is his shot making hasn't been completely on point so far this season. So in that sense, I would say not yet. I'm not even sure if I would keep Fontecchio starting overall, but right now it's working, right? So it's one of those since Lowry's out, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of things. And he has been effective in the minutes that he's playing. So I'm inclined to give him the benefit of the doubt going forward just for the offensive scoring output. The biggest issue with Ochai is he is the best perimeter defender, like wing defender, alongside Chris Dunn. However, he doesn't always bring the greatest shot making to it. So if you're going to start a guy who's only going to give you probably 6, maybe 9 points a night, but he's going to play great defense, even if you stick him on the other team's best player, he's going to end up giving up more points than he scores himself, which kind of puts you at a net negative overall. But you do have to have somebody on the court at times that's going to bother the opposing team's best shot maker. Insert Ochai. But on offense, Fontecchio is going to give you more scoring in a game. He's not going to be as great defensively, and you're not going to sit here and tag him on the best player on the other team and say, "Get me a stop, please. I need one." But he's also not going to sit there and get absolutely clapped in a matchup that sees him being against the opposing team's best player or in any sort of size or, speed, quickness mismatch. So I would lean towards Fontecchio out of the two at the moment. At the moment. Overall, like totality wise, ideally Ochai hits his shots, and so therefore you would pick him. But right now, Fontecchio's getting the job done. I think it's safe to say Keontae's been the best point guard out of the draft class so far, no doubt. Yeah. Yeah, not really a question on my mind. Who else? What's top 3? Keontae really definitely top 1. I feel like Sexton's passing has been pretty good these last 5-ish games. I would even, James, I might even go 7-ish games back because his turnovers have been low for the most part. I need to pull up his turnovers from today's game, but overall, his turnovers have been pretty low. He hasn't been super careless, like driving downhill and doing the thing where he like feels like he got stripped and thinks the ref's going to call it if he flails, and then he throws his arms and the ball goes out of bounds and it's a turnover on us. Haven't seen too much of that, which is always good. Bless you. Thank you. Welcome. But overall, he's been pretty successful in the minutes that he's played, I would say. Reffing was pretty good today, I thought. If anything, we were getting bailed on in the third quarter when we were in the bonus, like 2 minutes left, kept getting to the line all quarter. Yes, the free throws definitely made a difference. And this one, low key, between that and the 3-point shooting, because overall we did not shoot better than them. But we shot enough threes to the point where we hit so many of them. We hit literally 10 more threes than they did. So it gave us that cushion to where when they weren't hitting their free throws because they shot 68%, we shot more free throws and hit 82% of ours. So it was a done deal at that point. Last, yeah, he was horrible. Anyways, I'll be driving. I'll be listening. No, maybe use my voice chat time or two. All right, Tatum, drive safe, man. Lee, yes, sir. Oh my goodness, you said sorry. I'm my back is killing me. Be careful, please, brother. Be careful. Oh yeah, what Lee said. If you're not subscribed to the channel but you're on the live, man, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We do lives every day of the week. Except on weekends because I work third shift, so I literally cannot. Well, I mean, I could put up a live stream, but at that point, it wouldn't be the most visually pleasing because I mean, look at this amazingly pretty face. You wouldn't be able to see me because I'd be in the car the entire time, and I wouldn't trust my Wi-Fi. But yeah, man, subscribe if you haven't. Like the video so that more people will join in with us. Trying to hit that 1K, man, and then go from there. Speaking of which, the Jazz's YouTube channel finally eclipsed 100K like last week, like early last week. And I don't know why, but I felt like an official team would have already been at like closer to 150. Maybe that's wild, or maybe the channel just hasn't existed long enough. Really, could be a little bit of both. Let me see here. You said Jazz play Memphis on Wednesday, so hopefully the win streak will continue. Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. Fingers crossed, right? Fingers crossed we get the job done and do it handedly, not a nail biter one, because that shouldn't be a nail biter of a game. But the Trailblazers one obviously wasn't supposed to be us getting clapped from the back. So I have to deep breath my way through it. You know what I'm saying? You said, yeah, the streak definitely, I said, yeah, the streak definitely should continue. But it's going to be tough to go on a back-to-back against the Timberwolves and the Timberwolves in Minnesota. Yes, that's going to be nasty. As a matter of fact, that's going to be another true test. Like right now, we're playing some good competition games, right? The New Orleans Pelicans are not a bad team. Overall, most people would expect them to be a better overall team across the season than we are. But us being able to close out this back-to-back, yes, they didn't have Zion Williamson in the first one, but we still beat him when he came back. Good sample size, strong sample size. And I was actually hesitating on making one particular video, but I'm going to be okay to make it now just because the guys really like got things going. There's only 16 of y'all in here, but I want to do more scripted videos with like actual plays broken in there. So I'm going to probably do one that'll drop this Friday as long as I can get the script together tomorrow while I'm at work. Cause I low key, um, shoot me for it. I low key think Colin Sexton should start over Jordan Clarkson. And like it was really low key before because Clarkson would have like a random explosion of a game that helped us either play really well in a loss or would help us win a game. But his shooting splits are just really getting low key so bad that it's difficult. It's difficult to watch sometimes. Like, yes, he had 16 today, but don't trip because he shot 4 of 16 from the field. 16 shots to get 16 minutes is absolutely diabolical, which means he's continuing the trend. I'll get more into that in a second, though. I just wanted to throw that out there. Finn, you said it's amazing how only 10 turnovers and defense can improve overall results. Exactly. Also, the ball movement was so much better than it was a couple weeks ago. I definitely agree. And it's honestly, it's just really great that you've been able to like, I mean, I guess part of it is because you haven't been able to physically watch the games, but like, so you went from watching the team be like really rough to now them having some semblance of understanding and control about the way they do things. So it's easier for you to see. It's like kind of like when you haven't seen that nephew in forever and now all of a sudden they're like 3 inches tall. It's like, oh, I see. Whereas everybody that was kind of there just hasn't really paid attention to it. Taylor said, for real, just hope it can continue. Yeah. Jack said, it makes sense. You have great insight on the team, which is awesome, but not many people know what they're talking about Jazz wise. Yeah. Appreciate that, Jackson. Yes, sir. Be sure to check in other streams in the future. Love the content Jazz covering. You know, already. That's what this season is. That's what this whole year is. Continue believing in the team until they make it known that, hey guys, we're tanking, and then we'll just talk about the progress of the rebuild if they or well, the development of the individual players if they decide to go that route. Um, Clarkson had 10 assists to 1 turnover tonight. Taylor Tucker has 7 assists to 0 turnovers. Yes, that is very, very much important because neither of them are going to have games like that consistently. So we need to go ahead and give them their give praise where praise is due because yes, those are 2 very good games and they did their thing tonight from a playmaking standpoint. Shot making, they were both actually horrible. Side note, this shot making was actually horrible, so it almost negated the great playmaking that they had. But we'll get into that in a second, like I said. Shay, that's your first comment in here, man, isn't it? Or am I just slow? What's up, Shay? You said, thank God Fantecchio finally making shots. Yes, it makes him playable. His shot making skill makes him playable. If he's not hitting his shots, he's not playable. He understands that and he hit him tonight. Dan, what's up, man? You said I feel like our schedule is softish until January from here, although we are kind of soft one for everyone else too. Yeah, we also really definitely needed it, especially starting out the season the way we did, playing against teams that were going to hand it to us anyways, and then having a couple Kate games in there, it really just like really frazzled us, I feel, and put us in a situation where we thought a lot of things were actually worse than they actually were, even though the problems were very simply and easily fixable. But now that we're actually getting things on track, playing against, the Pelicans, who are a solid team and a pretty decent team, I think they're actually more comparable to the Jazz than a lot of people are willing to admit. It's more acceptable to put yourself in that sort of situation and play those games. And it's going to be a lot more competitive than most people originally expected, say 4 or 5 games into the season. Lee said, gotta get my son ready for bed. I'll be listening on comments. I'm kind of spaced out a bit. Yeah, absolutely, Lee. Absolutely. Yes, lay Oakley down. Ryan, you said, can't wait for Hendricks and Sesabal to join the core. 10 guys look solid. Even Kendrick Dunn. Or Chris Dunn. Why do I always say Kendrick? Yeah, he didn't play today, but they were able to get the W without him, so I'm willing to accept it. Dink, yes, sir. Yo, Dink, all your videos have been coming up on our TikTok For You page, man. We need to collab or find a way to get you into a long form video, right? I need a long form video on your channel because you're really good. You're a lot better at scripting than I am. I am not a scripter. A lot of my videos I talk completely off the cuff, or I might have somebody's stats pulled up and I have a direction I'm going in and I talk my way through it and then cut out the like breath pauses. You just cut like all the way through. I'm not sure if you're reading directly off a script, but also the clips that you pick are very engaging for your audience. I just want to throw some praise in there for Dink, guys. Sorry. Um Tayton, you said he had 10 assists. Yes, sir. Gotta give credit where credit's due. Incognito J, first comment ever in the chat, man. Glad to have you here with us. You said Colin Sexton needs to be starting shooting guard. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry. I don't get super antsy, but yeah, that's the one that I'm feeling. That's the one that I'm feeling. Now tonight, Jordan Clarkson brought a certain element to the game that we don't really see much ever out of Colin Sexton. So tonight was a good night from that aspect, but Clarkson almost messed it up with his overall shooting from the field. 4 of 16 from the field and 2 of 9 from 3 is not going to look good for you. Just like THT, 7 assists to 0 turnovers. I have to give him praise for that because he hasn't been able to put it all together in general. So I think him playing in the bench minutes is getting him a little bit of spot minutes here and there to where he can make mistakes and it won't cost us the most amount. But then he shot 2 of 9 from the field and 0 of 3 from 3. But we're not going to think about that, whole different conundrum. Totally agree with Clock. With oh, I think I missed something. Okay, surprise, Chris Dunn didn't play tonight. Yeah, the way they play him is very sporadic and interesting, but I guess it's also part of his contract since he's just literally the lowest paid point guard / shooting guard on the roster. That's just kind of how the minutes he's gonna have to deal with or situations. Jackson, you said I totally agree with the Clarkson bench opinion. He's a huge spark off the bench when he came off. His Sexton could be more effective than Clarkson if he was starting. Yes, and then you would also let Sexton get started the way that he always does. Everybody forgets for some reason that Colin Sexton as a starting player, he's just an undersized shooting guard. And I think for me, I kind of got sold on this idea of like where he has to play more and he has to get a better playmaking. And it's like, wait a minute. We have Jordan Clarkson starting, and he's been shooting buns from the field for like 2/3 of the games. I guarantee you, if you give how many did he take today? 16, and he only hit 4. You gave Colin Sexton 9 shots and he hit 4. I guarantee you, if you give if you give Colin Sexton 15 shots, 20 shots, 23 shots to shoot as many shots or more than Lauri Markkanen, he hits a lot more than Jordan Clarkson does. Shoot me about it, but that's a hill I'm willing to die on right now. Now, it would take a good 5-game sample size of him just being completely garbage from the field, which I don't think I would ever see for me to change my opinion on that. But if Clarkson's defense isn't going to be completely like perfect the entire season, which it hasn't been, by the way, he's been better than he was in past times, but he just hasn't been ideal yet. I would argue that Sexton might be the more deserving player overall. And I understand that Clarkson is like more of a veteran leader presence on the roster. And I'm pretty sure he's like, is he between him and Kelly Olynyk, they're like the oldest guys on the roster. But I would wager that it's important for Sexton to be a key piece going forward in that aspect. Tiago, you said Clarkson will definitely be a crucial player for us. Definitely should hang on to it this season. Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as to say trade him. I don't think it's there yet. Utah benching Sexton has been holding him back for sure. Yeah, I understand with his injury history, trying to ease him back into the game, but he should be in that starting lineup. I think it's definitely warranted that obviously we add Sexton back to starting lineup, more so because of Clarkson's poor play and him consistently doing it to the point where we're like, this is just who Jordan Clarkson is going to be this year. He's going to have great shooting nights. He's going to have terrible shooting nights. He's always going to aim to give you 20 points. Colin Sexton's more often than not going to have a good shooting night or a great shooting night. So if you want him to get 18, you ain't got to say nothing but a word. Now, he still needs to pass the ball. Don't get it twisted, right? We need playmaking out of him. We don't need him to end the game with like 5-6 assists, but if he makes that extra pass 5 or 6 times, that will make the difference, and it will make him less one-dimensional and allow him to get easier shots himself. But it just makes sense the most way, or that way. Tiago said, yeah, Clarkson should definitely give us a spark off the bench. Yeah. Did it when he was behind Mitchell. Yeah. Incognito J, exactly. Jackson, he's overthinking the game because he's scared of getting pulled. If he's starting, this team will be dangerous. Clarkson is a 6-man and a star. Was a star at that role. Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing at the end of the day. Even I must admit, I've been super harsh on Sexton, but he's having a lot more like 6 assist games with reasonable turnover ratios. And he's always been sneaky efficient as a shooter. Yep. Deceptively so. Like people don't understand like his shot sample size and the numbers that he puts up from 3-point and 2-point ranges. It's actually really, really good. And in his starts, obviously, he's not a very good bench player, and I don't know if he will ever completely adjust to be that. But it's just interesting. Finn, you said, like I said after the Bulls game, I can live with missed shots, but not turnover every minute of the game. Yes, those turnovers kill every team. Not even the Knicks can win with 25 turnovers in the game. Bingo, nail on the head right there. Enough said. Dan said, "Yep." Oh, case it pretty much results in like 14 transition points per game or whatever. Exactly. Puts too much stress on you, obviously getting back in transition defense. Defense isn't set. That's if the fast break doesn't immediately lead to a bucket. Also, just more offensive possessions for the other team that they can afford to not shoot well at, but they're going to get another chance anyways because we're going to turn it over. Incognito J, you said, I think Sexton's mistakes is due to how hard he plays him. Yeah, we got to remember that the guy was first option in Cleveland, bad team or not. He's a bucket. He's efficient. Yes, agreed. Jackson, you said, what's your opinion on Yurt 7? I think he really utilized the time he's been given these past few games. Yeah, Yurt 7 is one of those guys. He's similar to a John Collins, right? Where if you play him and you give him minutes, he's going to do as much as he can without playing outside of himself in any given situation. If you put him in a position where he's likely to fail, he's going to do his best impression of somebody trying not to fail. If you put him in a position to succeed, by and large, he will succeed. and he's going to make the most out of any opportunity he gets. For example, in this game, 22 minutes, he only shot the ball 4 times, but he was 2 of 4 from the field. He also was 1 of 2 from three, meaning that what? He's willing to take the open three when it's there, which adds an extra element to the game because that allows us to space the floor a little bit more. If the center can just sit there and stand in the dunker spot on defense while he goes out and sets a high screen, when he rolls to the rim, the big just knows, but buddy, you can't shoot. So I'm gonna stay right here and you're gonna come to me and I'm gonna handle that shot when it comes to the rim. But adding that little extra sprinkle of the shooting touch to go along with, like I said, the 10 rebounds that he had today, and also 2 assists to go along with it. He did end up with 4 personal fouls, but between him and Kessler both having 4, I wasn't terribly hurt by it. And then Kelly Olynyk obviously had 5, which is a little bit more concerning, but that at this point is just kind of part of Kelly's game. Side note, Kelly only shot 1 shot today. He was 0 of 1 from the field, but 4 of 4, I believe 4 of 4 from the free throw line to go along with those 4 rebounds and 4 assists. But yeah, your 7 definitely deserves more minutes. I think we could go a dual big system because then if you think that you can save Walker Kessler and also get a good bit of burn out of him, if he can shoot 7 to 9 from the field every night in 26 minutes and play solid defense, give him that, right? He got 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Give him that every time. Because Omar Garrett 7 is going to be reliable. And that decreases the injury risk on both players' parts. You're not going to have to worry so much about Walker Kessler having a bad night and just really burning himself out because you're going to have that tandem of him and Garrett 7. And Garrett 7 has, in my opinion, over the past couple of games, I watched him back when he was at NC State when he had 2 left feet. So I've seen how far he's progressed his overall game, whether it be back to basket, front facing the basket, just getting in there, and also on the defense side of the ball, the type of totem pole that he's been at times, and how he's learned to really just get a little bit more wiggle and bend to his game. So he's definitely a critical piece, and I think going forward, we do best if we utilized him as much as possible. Clarkson gave today 10 assists to 1 turnover. Yes, Finn, I would agree with you on that part. And that's why I said in this game, it was worthwhile that Clarkson was the starting shooting guard. But the issue with Clarkson is that his 10 assists basically disguise the fact that he shot terrible from the field. He was 4 of 16, which isn't okay. 25% from the field on double-digit shot attempts isn't good. John Collins was 4 of 10. He was 2 of 6 from 3. So John Collins had a subpar game by his standards, but it was kind of okay-ish. But for his standards, it wasn't a good shooting night for him. But Clarkson has had so many poor shooting nights that it's just become a part of his, like, what we expect of him from that standpoint. So if he's going to have the occasional burst where he has a great playmaking night, we'll appreciate that. But overall, his shooting is going to be the thing that makes it difficult for me to really get behind him. For example, during this regular season overall, after is this after tonight? Oh, I think it's after tonight. On the updated stats, it has them shooting 42.5% from the field and 32% from 3. Which again isn't terrible, or it's not great, especially more so because of the shot attempts he's taking. If it was a lower volume, it would be more understandable. But if you're taking 5.5 threes a night and you're only hitting 32% of them, it's a little rough. If you're taking 16 shots a night and you're only shooting 42% of them, or hitting 42% of them across 32 minutes, that's also a little rough. But it's sometimes a eat a cake, have a cake and eat it too kind of thing. I'm also understanding of that. You said 6 out of 10 last year. That is also true. 6 out of 10 6 games off the bench for us last season. He's not primarily a playmaker though. Neither is Clarkson. Yeah, I would be more likely to say. Really? Let me see. I remember when Sexton was averaging 24 a game for Cleveland and got snubbed for being an All-Star. Yeah, I didn't like that one. I think he could really definitely replicate something like that in a starting role with Utah. Finn, tell me your biggest gripe right now with Colin Sexton. I know you haven't had the opportunity to see like the past like 6, 7-ish games. It actually might be 8 at this point since it was double Pelicans. Like the last 8-ish game stint that he's had. But tell me like what is the biggest difference for you between Sexton and Clarkson? Because to me, they've both been turnover prone, but overall, Clarkson guarantee Clarkson's gonna have a spotty game more often than not. And across this 15 game sample size he's had good shooting splits maybe 6 of the games. I think that and also I wouldn't take as much of an issue if he was shooting like 10, 11-ish shots a game. Because if you shoot 38% on 11 shot attempts, that means you hit like 4 shots. But it's also not too darning for him to do. However, my issue comes when he plays alongside Lowry, when Lowry sits there and has a really efficient game, hitting 16 out of say 20, 23 shots. And then you have Clarkson who shoots an equal 23 shots or shoots 26 shots and then ends up clanking over half of them and puts you in a position where he's missing a lot. He's basically becoming the absolute negative to Lowry's absolute positive. So they put us smack dab in the middle. And I feel like if you give Colin Sexton a 20 shot attempt night to hunt his 20 shots across a 32-minute span, as long as he keeps the same willingness to pass that he's had so far this season, or excuse me, more so over the second half of what we've seen of the season so far, then I think that he's definitely more playable and more reliable overall across the totality of the season. That's my thought. Um, I like Ochai or Dunn. I just don't. Oh, lately, my biggest gripe with Ochai is his shot making hasn't been as great as we were originally hoping it would be in the minutes that he plays. He had a good shooting night tonight, though. Side note, got to give credit where credit's due. He had a good shooting night tonight. And then obviously, I'm a Chris Dunn fan. Yeah. You said if Utah used him to right, he most definitely would be an all-star considered at least. Yeah, they traded Mitchell for this guy. He deserves a chance to really show this game. Yeah, that's actually a good point because he hasn't had an opportunity since he got traded for because of his injury to like really, really be the Colin Sexton of Cleveland. And this team doesn't necessarily need the Colin Sexton of Cleveland, but they need the shot making ability of the Colin Sexton of Cleveland. Because right now, I realize the biggest issue for this team at times, alongside the turnovers and poor shot creation, poor playmaking, has been the lack of there being a secondary scoring option alongside Lowry. You're expecting Lowry to give you, 25 points a night on really good efficiency, but then you don't know who's going to have a hot night or if somebody's going to have a hot night to also assist him on the opposite side of the ball. And when we haven't necessarily been known for our great defense, that also creates certain problems for us overall. You said for me, the biggest difference between Clarkson and Sexton is that Clarkson is taller and has length, so he has potential to be a better defender. Yes, I would agree. But who I'd rather have playmaking, shooting, Sexton. Yeah. I think another thing that makes me lean Sexton over Clarkson right now is, like you said right there, Lee, when you put it in all capitals, potential. Clarkson has the size to do more things, but he does less. He does either less things or comparable things to Sexton on the defensive side of the ball with that size. My apologies. Which is a thing of, buddies, let's call a spade and just say Sexton's 6'1.5", right? I don't think he's taller than 6'2". So you have 2 inches of height and much more across wingspan, and you're doing less. You're comparable to this guy who's not really a midget, but Sexton is an undersized shooting guard. He's not a PG, but he gets put at the point guard spot because that's really just the role that he played in high school and in college. You say hands down. Yeah, I'd agree with you, Lee. Kessler is good because of how Clarkson has played. Talk me through it, Tane. Talk me through it. As in the playmaking that Clarkson has had sometimes has it benefited Kessler? Is that the route we're going with it? Just to make sure I understand you properly. Not even trying to hate, but how are y'all the 95-96 Bulls against the Pelicans and a lottery team against everybody else? No cap, I'm watching the next 3 games. Keontae George won't be nearly the same player. Kissing neither for the guys. Praise God, you have an interesting opinion there. I would say overall, this is the Utah Jazz team you should see play a lot of times. When we played against the Phoenix Suns, those 2 times, you saw a more consistent overall effort from everybody. Will we likely see this version of Fantecchio every night? I'm not really sure. It remains to be seen. Do I think this year at 7 is it going to be this mainstay? Yes. If you give year at 7 22 minutes, I think this is highly replicatable for him. Right? Keontae 6 of 14 from the field. Not a terrific shooting night, but a heck of a lot better than we're used to seeing him shoot, right? Especially on 14 shot attempts, which means not only was he taking shots because he thought they were good shots, but he was making just a couple more of them, right? It wasn't an elite shooting night, but it was a heck of a lot better than it usually is. So we have to go ahead and let him know, hey, that 3 of 8 you shot from the 3-point line, that's good numbers. That's good numbers. And he paced the team in scoring. Do I think he'll pace the team in scoring overall going forward? No. But if you can go 6 of 14 while Clarkson goes 4 of 16, you deserve those 14 shots you took, right? And Keontae's shots typically are a very precise and well thought out shot attempt. He's not one that's going to just shoot the ball wherever it goes, or the defense dictates what shot he's taking, and so he's just going to throw up a shot whenever he gets the opportunity to. He's not one of those type of shot hunters, which I also appreciate, which means the shots he takes, even though he hasn't hit them in the past, is going to be easier as he gets up more of those types of shots in practice and even in games where he's going to hit them a lot more. Finn, you said the biggest issue with Sexton driving the basket. Yes, he gives good pass today. After that awesome pass, he drive again and not pass resulting in a turnover. Slow on my thing. And resulting in a turnover. He'd do a lot of that. Clarkson is better with his driving. I do kind of see what you're going for there. Overall, a matter of fact, let me see. Overall, though, Clarkson actually averages more turnovers this season than Sexton does on a nightly basis. That is average wise. Before I sit here and just start blowing smoke, let me go ahead and give us some actual context to it. In 32 minutes a night, we have Clarkson with 3.3 turnovers. In 20 minutes a night, we have Sexton going for 1.8. So if we were to extrapolate that for the extra 12 minutes, Sexton would be right around 3.1, which granted it's really almost the same, but just slightly less. So I do see what you're saying about the turnovers, but I would say that since Clarkson is slightly more turnover prone because of his ball dominance and his shot making ability, alongside just his poor efficiency overall, that kind of pulls me away from him like consistently at the very least. More so because of his shot volume. Like I want to go ahead and say it's okay to shoot bad from the field if you're a shooting guard. Your job is to shoot the rock. But Clarkson has had so many games where he'll shoot almost as many shots as Lowry, or even more shots than Lowry, and he doesn't hit his shots, and that's very frustrating, especially if he's going to give you probably 3 turnovers a night, 4 turnovers a night on a team that's going to average, I think at what 2 before this most recent game against the Pelicans, or before the first game against the Pelicans, we were averaging 17.5 turnovers a night, I want to say. And we had that one really good game where we only had 8 turnovers, but after that, we really just we said, oh, we haven't been ourselves lately, and decided to go ahead and put up 21 turnovers. So, shoulder shrug with that one. I don't think Kessler is playing well because of JC. I think Kessler and JC are better because Keontae George and Kelly Olynyk. I like that take. I like that take, Lee. I'm with you on that. But Tate, you said what I mean is the defenses are focusing a lot more on Clarkson than Sexton, even though his shot has been bad. A lot of that is because they're defending him super tight, creating more space for Kessler. So you're saying that the potential for Kessler's ability to carry a bigger offensive burden could be slightly more dependent on the success or possible success of Clarkson than it would be of Sexton, at the very least, so far this season, from what we've seen from the numbers. I can understand that. I would also, an interesting caveat to that would be thinking about how often Clarkson individually, when he does reach those tight spaces, how often he gives the ball up to specifically Walker to allow Walker to make that next play, to make that home run play. Of course, I have no metrics to back up how many of Walker's shot attempts are actually assisted by Clarkson or just off a pass from Clarkson. So I'm not gonna sit here and just like, oh, this is what it is. This is concrete because I'm not just one of those guys. If I don't have, I'm not gonna say anything I don't know. Um, I'll make it known that I have a strong or slightly biased opinion about something because I do. For example, at times I do put on my rose-colored glasses for Colin Sexton at times. I'm willing to do that. I even do it for Lowry sometimes. Lowry defensively, we've had him in a lot more situations where he's guarding the worst shooter and he's supposed to play the Jaren Jackson Jr. roaming role. And he hasn't really adjusted to it well this season. But since that's not the biggest issue that the team's facing and he's shooting as efficiently as he is from the field, I kind of make sure that gets swept under the rug and we don't really talk about it until it actually becomes a serious issue. Tells it truly taints that either making an easy assist to him or a double pass, or even someone else gets the assist. Yeah, in theory, I could see that happening. And kind of you said another thing too. Hardy has Sexton in the corners, and that's terrible for him. Yes, bingo. That's like putting De'Aaron Fox in the corner. Yes, these types of guards who are quick need space to attack. Yes. Also, he doesn't shoot. If memory serves me right, he does not shoot as good from corner 3-point catch and shoot threes as he does from the wing. So that's not another thing to pay attention to. Now, of course, I could be slightly wrong, but from this is more so looking at it from an eye test standpoint. Let me go on and say that because I don't have the numbers or I don't have recent numbers from this year in my head right now stashed away. So I can't sit there and be like, oh, he shoots. Last time I checked, he shot 34% from corner threes off catch and shoot, but he shot 39% on the wing from catch and shoot threes. I'm not going to pull that one because I don't have that number readily accessible in my head. But from the shots that we have seen him take, from my perspective, he shoots better from the wing than he does off the catch. Sexton dribbling into a three hasn't necessarily translated well this year, but we're not cooking him for that right now. Like you said, they're in plays where Clarkson, THT, and Sexton drive, and they've all had turnover. Yeah, for sure. Also, Sexton has been shooting pretty bad the past few games, not gonna lie. Sexton has been kind of like, let me pull these up real quick so I know I'm not blowing smoke. In that last game against the Pelicans, he was 38% from the field, which obviously wasn't ideal. And then he only actually played 11 minutes against Portland, which was interesting. And then against the Clippers, we know he shot 54%, and against the Suns and double OT, he shot 46%. So yeah, particularly 2 games before this one, because today he shot 44% from the field, but that 38% from New Orleans. How many shot attempts did he take last time? Do we have that off the top of our heads? I'm about to pull this up so I can be as analytical as possible. You know what I'm saying? 5 of 13. Okay, so yeah. Definitely not sexy at all. Would I say it's the worst thing in the world? Not quite, but I definitely see what you are valid in what you're saying right now. That because 5-13 from the field against New Orleans, and then I'm assuming he had to at least go 0 for 2 against Portland, even though he did only play 11 minutes. Interesting that he only played 11 minutes. Actually, I didn't think about that. No, he was 0-5. Scratch that. He was 0-5. So yeah, the past 2 games, he needed this one basically to get himself back on track because the past 2 games, he didn't shoot terrific. Against the Pelicans, though, he was 37.5% from 3. So there was that. But against the Portland Trailblazers in 11 minutes, he jacked 5 shots and was not hitting. Even turnovers per minute. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Kessler has more space because of Keontae George paired with Kelly Olynyk, because people are sagging off John Collins due to his poor 3-point shooting last year. Yeah. And I love when people just let John Collins shoot his 3, because I made the video at the beginning of the season talking about how great the signing was first. Then I had another one talking about how his shooting was going to come back. And the video only got like 1,000 views, but his shooting came back. He shot 37% at the end of last season after the All-Star break. And it was enough attempts to get his percentage to go from 24% to 29%, but because it didn't go up to like what his normal was, everybody was like, "Oh, he can't shoot anymore. His finger's so bad he'll never be able to shoot again." And he's been able to shoot. Surprise, surprise. And since you're going to leave him open and give him 5 feet of space off the catch, he's going to hit those. Thank you. Speaking of which, we need some John Collins love. Defensively, he's been a bit of a difficult spectacle at times, but tonight he had a good showing, I would say. Um, Overall, yeah, 41% from 41.8% from three. So yeah, you love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. And he's doing it on 3.5 attempts per game, which is the tied for last year against when he was with Atlanta, the second most attempts of his career, with the most being his third season in the league, hitting 1.4 at a 3.6, hitting it at a 40% clip. So he's slightly above what he's usually at. He's hitting point blank. Period. He's hitting. He is actually 23 or 55 overall. Sorry, I know I'm probably pretty behind in these comments, guys. Let me actually catch up. I'm sorry. When KG and Kelly are on the court together, space for days. Yeah, for sure. And they're willing to make they have the vision and ability to make that extra pass. Some guys, for example, like THT was struggling early on in the season because he could see the pass that needed to be made, but he couldn't make it in a timely fashion, which was problematic. I would argue that this time around, things really got done the way that they needed to get done. And shout out to THT for his 7 assists today. His shooting split, he shot 2 of 9 from the field, so he was not shooting well. But he was also making the right pass to kind of even out the playing field for him, which justified him playing the minutes that he played. I wish the media would get how inefficient players cancel out good ones. Just ask the Bucks. All their games are nail biters now because they got to play all the crappy net negative players. Good point, Dan. Good point. We the Jazz have like 5 or 6 bad net negative players. That's way too many. You can get away with like 1 or 2 on a good team. Yeah. I definitely see what you're saying there. And I feel like for the Jazz, we haven't found the niche for everybody. And the biggest issue is because we don't have the talent that the Lakers have or that the Suns have, right? We're not that top heavy. So because of that, we have a lot of middle of the road talent or like technical guys that have very specific roles. And until we put them in those roles, they're not going to be able to highlight that aspect of their game that they're really good at. And because of that, that makes a lot of the games at times even unbearable to watch because we just don't put together the necessary show that a lot of people would hope that we could. Just one of those things. Incognito, you said, and many of those net negative players are getting extensive minutes or starting. When you start bench players, that's what happens. Agreed. Lee, you said, I think when John Collins is out there in place of Kelly Olynyk, the space is really, really bad. I wouldn't necessarily say the space is really, really bad. I would say that teams are willing to sell out and collapse more because they know if the ball goes to John Collins specifically over like a Kelly Olynyk, John Collins doesn't have the playmaking ability to make that extra pass. He will make the extra pass sometimes, but his extra pass isn't going to lead to a person being wide open. His extra pass isn't always going to lead into a wide open 3-point attempt. Whereas Kelly Olynyk sees the pass that can be made, creates on the ground for him dribbling, and if he has a shot, he'll take his shot. But the moment he sees somebody wall up and it's like, uh-oh, I don't think I have this right now, he's skipping it across the court to the opposite wing or the opposite corner, and that guy's open for a 3. And if the guy doesn't make the 3, so be it. That was the correct shot attempt for that time around. And a lot of times I would agree that John Collins doesn't have that playmaking ability to make that happen. Thankfully, John Collins is making them pay for setting off him, but it is crowding the paint. True. As long as John Collins can hit his threes, teams at the very least halfway through the season, as long as we're in good playing waters, if we're in tanking team water, then people are going to keep sagging off because you're going to lose anyway, buddy. That's the mentality they're going to have. But if we're like middle of the road, like almost 50-50 across our games, teams are going to have to step out because they're going to we have to honor it at this point. And I think when that time comes, it'll be appreciated for his shooting. But for now, we're just going to have to accept and appreciate the numbers on paper and hope that it continues to translate. because really his 3-point shooting is what allows us to play him as much as we do. Without his 3-point shooting, he's really just like slightly more versatile Clint Capella. I don't think that's crazy to say. Is that crazy to say? That that ultimately will be what he would be, which would make him a bench player. There's nothing wrong with that, right? You need quality bench players. But I would argue that John Collins' shooting is what makes him a starting power forward in this league. Taking you agree with it? Yeah. But other part is that he unlocks Clark. It also unlocks Clarkson. Fair. Except when Collins decides to randomly go off, and then all of a sudden it's better, but usually not like Olenek starting. Interesting, Tatum. He said, and if he's unlocked, Kessler is too. True. And how's Swanky? Yes, sir. Hey, how's it going? Just got home from the game. Lots of ugly turnovers, but it's great defense as well. Yeah, and overall, honestly, I would argue that turnover wise, things looked a lot crisper than they usually do. And to go along with that 31 assists, which is it's definitely a top 3 total assists we've had in a game so far this season. My mind says second because I believe we had a game where we had 33 or 34 assists. So I think this is our second overall like assist type game, and the low number of turnovers overall is also something to be very proud and happy and just happy to see. Key Steven, is that your first time commenting, man? Welcome to the family. Go and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, I appreciate that. Let's see. Threonte George started 1 of 7 and hit that lucky bounce 3. Yeah, Clarkson had one of those today as well. Yes, Clarkson needed his to go in. Lee said it well when Keontae and Kelly are on the court at the same time. Open space for everybody. 100% agree. Yep. Same reason that Kessler, Lowry, and Collins are not going to work well because none of them can pass much. Yeah, you have to be careful when you stagger their minutes. I would dare say. And unfortunately, out of that trio, Collins is more often than not going to be the guy that suffers the most, even though he's willing to shoot the three that Kessler is not. Kessler at his peak defensively is better than Collins, right? And I think we can get more peak Kessler on defense than we can get peak Collins on offense. That being said, you can still play all 3 of them on the court at the same time together because as long as everybody's hitting their shots, there's going to be a shot to be had. There's going to be a high percentage shot to be had, and they're pretty efficient from the field. Lowry and Collins specifically. Kessler still needs to get his efficiency up, obviously, and then he just needs to be willing to take the 3. Omer, you're 7. You kick him the ball in the corner or on the winger at the top of the key off a screen and roll, and he pops out, and nobody sits there and puts a hand up. Best believe he's letting that thing fly. He was 1 of 2 today, so he's not afraid to show that shooting touch, and that's what adds a little bit of extra valuable and a little bit extra spice to his game too. Where are we? Jazz beat the Pelicans team who were 5-1 in the last 6, but lost to a Trailblazers team who lost 8 straight. We are one of the most interesting conundrums in the league. I'll say that, Tiago. Yeah, absolutely. Kelly Olynyk is a great facilitator, but John Collins being sagged off makes defenders collapse in the paint. And if KG is out there, 2 people sag off both. True. Yeah. Because KG isn't hitting shot. Yep. Speaking of which, let me see what Keontae's overall shooting splits are this season since we've had, another healthy 2-game sample size. Oh, yeah, he did have 5 turnovers last game. I was like, dang, 5 turnovers. What the heck? Overall this season, he's averaging 2 turnovers to 5.3 assists. Not a terrible percentage. We'd like to see it go up just a little bit. Yeah, he's shooting 35% from the field and 32.5% from 3. He was 3 of 8 today, so that helps his case, but he's had a couple bad games where he just could not hit from 3. He's taking the right threes, he just hasn't hit them. So if you take 4 threes and you only hit 1 of them and all 4 of them are good threes, eventually they're going to translate, but for the time being, it's going to hurt your team a little bit. And that's where we're at. But that's one of those acceptable negatives that we're dealing with right now. Let's see. Yeah, you're right. Collins 3 came back. I tore ligaments in 2 fingers on my shooting hand. Took 11 months to heal, but I'm okay as well. People act like he was done forever. Literally. And I think part of it was also because of the way that Atlanta utilized him. They literally turned him into a 3-point shooting big, which, unlike the certain aspect of his game. But when you sit there and say he can't, you're not, we don't want you putting the ball on the ground. We don't want you attacking the basket at all. Shoot the three or pass the ball to somebody else. That's a crazy role to sit there and put on a man that's like 6'9", 6'10", right? That's kind of wild. On offense, that's crazy. But they did it anyways because they have the Trae Young system, which I have my own gripes about Trae Young as a player in general. But, neither here nor there. We said McCollum was out today. Made the Pelicans the worst team. They need him badly. Yes, I would agree. I think with McCollum, they might low-key edge this one out from us today specifically, because while Clarkson and THT had great assist numbers overall, the negatives of shots we would have paid for more had McCollum be playing in this one because of his shot making and playmaking ability. You say, and we beat the fully healthy Clippers. Yep, and you already get it. You get the image, brother. We are one of the more interesting teams in the league. Did I catch up on anybody's comments? I think I did. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Today's live was pretty good. I mean, the game was also good. Part of it we won. But overall, we've had a consistent 16 to 22-ish people in here. Glad to see it. Glad to see all y'all boys out here. Made me happy. Made me smile. Oh, Tyson DM'd me. He said he's gonna be very late to the stream. We had a little bit of time. Yeah, he was definitely at this game. So I'll hang out for a bit just so Tyson can get some of the love. Chase, yes sir. How's it going, man? How did you like the game? You said McCollum was out, yes, but so was Lowry. Lowry over CJ. Fair point. Fair point. I think for me, this is what I would like to see. If we could see, we've had Clarkson start 15 games? Yeah. I don't even need 15 games of Sexton. Give me 10 games starting Sexton. If he shoots worse from the field and he's equally or more turnover prone, go back to Clarkson. Keep Clarkson as a starting shooting guard, or try Chris Dunn or Ochai. Oh, you said I had to go now. Workers come soon, and then let them in. It's nice to join the chat, even though I couldn't stay longer. Stay awesome, guys. Appreciate a lot of your chat sessions right by now. Appreciate you being able to tune in, fan. I'm definitely glad you got to see the game, see one of the games finally. Take care, brother. I love Finn, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think there's somebody that I've ever respectfully disagreed with on so many things as much as Finn regarding any basketball take, literally ever. And I love it because it's good to have healthy disagreements instead of those shouting matches where like, you don't know what you're talking about. The numbers don't back it up. What are you talking about? You don't watch the game. I hate somebody that sits there. Hate is a strong word. I dislike when you have a conversation with somebody that watches basketball or says they watch basketball and they're like, bro, do you even watch the games? It's like, be for real. Yes, of course I watch the games. Why ever would I interact with you about a conversation regarding our personal favorite team if I didn't watch the games? If I didn't see the stats? Why would I sit there and bring up somebody's three-point percentage if I didn't pay attention to their three-point percentage? That just makes so much sense, doesn't it? No, I watched the game, you clown. it. I think that I think that's why I stopped covering the Suns as heavily because if anybody goes back and watches my Suns videos, I said Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant are all three the exact same player. Immaculate shot making ability, great players, occasionally above average playmaking for their teammates, but overall they're just the same person at three different heights. And I was like, they none of them are great defenders right now, right? Devin Booker is probably the best defender of the three of them, and he's pretty good. Finally, it took Chris Paul coming and setting that expectation for him to finally do it. But between that and then all three of them, I said the injuries were going to be the biggest problem. Defense and issues and injuries were going to hurt this team. And everybody, all their fans attacked me in the comment section talking about how no, you just don't get it. You don't even watch the games. I was like, and somebody was like, Devin Booker's a great defender. Look at how many steals he had in the playoffs last season across the 11 game sample size. And I said, before I rebuttal him, let me go and let me cherry pick somebody real quick. Since we're cherry picking and saying that steals equals great defense, not to say that steals can't make you assume who's a better defender, but if you have 3 steals a game, you could just be playing passing lanes well. You might just be in the same right spot at the right time over the course of 30, 35 minutes of a game, right? And especially in playoff action as a starter. So I pulled up James Harden, who had the exact same. And I said, so does that mean James Harden was a great defender? Needless to say, he didn't comment back because he knew he was wrong. I was like, I don't watch the games. I watched all of your games. Why would I sit there and tell you that someone so doesn't play well against this person in this sort of matchup? That's an oddly specific thing to say about somebody. Unless I saw it live or on replay, either way. But yeah, sorry, just had to get that off my chest. Chase, I skipped over you, low key. You said fire Keontae on fire tonight. 6 and 3-point shots made me happy. You said, Dan, yeah, my bad for being kind of fair weather fan. These past few games, I'm kicking it with my friends watching football too. Nah, man, it's just whenever you could pop in. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing about these streams, right? Because like once I passed the 1,000, goodness, I can't even speak. Once I passed the 1,000 sub mark, I'm really like 2 days of good watch time hours, and this stream is actually really going to help me right here because this is probably if this isn't the best stream watch time wise, it's definitely the second best. So overall, it's really going to push me over the top to the point where I'll have my 4,000 watch hours, and then once I have my 1,000 subs, I can go ahead, apply, and like on YouTube. For those that don't know, I know some of you guys were thinking about starting YouTube. I would urge you to, if you have any questions, whether it be about audio, what camera to use, that sort of thing, definitely, DM me on IG or whatever the case may be. Definitely an open book. I've made my fair share of mistakes. I mean, you guys have been witness to them. I'm 162 videos in, / live streams. I've had my fair share of hits and misses. I'll tell you that much. If you sort my videos from most popular to least popular, or least popular to most popular, you'll see the misses. I'm by and large the same type of person, but I said all that to basically say that like once you monetize your video, you're usually going to get like $18 per 1,000 views. Now, the biggest thing is going to be obviously like the first 6 months, I'm not really going to make a significant amount of money, but it might allow me to make enough money to be able to take off, a Saturday or a Sunday here and there. Cause right now, obviously those that know, I work like 7 days a week. So the reason why I don't get to stream after the post games on the weekends is because I'm working third shift on the weekends. So I might be able to, take off 4 or 5, maybe even if it's one day randomly, one Saturday off a month, it makes a difference. But it'll be there with time. I like the plan. Might as well try Sexton out there. Yeah, worth a shot, I'd say, Lee. Just facts. I'm just glad we didn't let them shoot a 3 in the final 10 seconds. Yeah, that would have broke my spirit. I wish we would have watched. I wish I would have watched tonight's game. Was hanging out with friends tonight. Yeah, it was a good one, man. But you can watch the game. That has me hotly. Literally every time somebody says that, bro, did you even watch the game? Bro, you didn't watch that series, did you? Mother, why would I talk about something I haven't seen? Do enough people in your life really talk like that about any particular team to sit there and be like, they don't talk about any numbers? I'm a numbers guy. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. At the same time, you can use numbers to skew and push your agenda, or you can hide numbers so that you don't get a certain agenda getting pushed. And that's why context matters, right? But by and large, the numbers are the numbers. And if you shoot really high from the field, it could be because you have a great playmaker on your team, or it could just mean you're a great shooter. Either way, you're hitting your shots, right? So there's the overarching truth that is true regardless of what happens. Then you add layers of context that kind of fill out the story, and you're like, oh, so this is what happened. It's kind of like a murder mystery. If I tell you, the butler killed the head of the household, it's like, what? What happened? And then you fill out the details all the way through. Well, there was this whole dispute about his pay, and the owner of the mansion told him to go f himself, and so he didn't like that, and he wasn't able to spend Christmas with his family, and it just like adds all these details to it. The original fact doesn't change, but the context makes you feel a certain way about it. Oh, Abaji went off low key too. Fantecchio defended well considering he was up against Ingram. Yeah, definitely. Laughing about this, and it's all fun. But dang, Ingram always looks like he is higher than the Giants. Crack. Well, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, and I can't tell you the last time I saw Brandon Ingram with a haircut. I'm not gonna lie. That's one of the funniest things ever, actually. He said he's burning that Malibu book. Y'all foolish. McDonald's doing us dirty though. What you mean, Tay? Lee said you have all the stats and facts, but I need to know. You can watch all the games last year and then rewatch them to prep for this year? No, me neither. We lose it at the tip offs lately, except today somehow. Yeah, interesting stuff actually. McDonald's was the free cheeseburger for the rest of the season if we win the tip off. Oh. Mm. I see. Like over here, we had this thing where it was like, if the Hornets scored 95 points, you would get 50% off Papa John's pizza the following day, just that time. So, man, back when when the Hornets had Kemba Walker and Al Jefferson and Gerald Henderson and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, I don't think y'all understand. My favorite player I've ever watched play is Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, which is absolutely nasty to say because some people heard me just say that at the stream and their faces just cringed. But I just love the dog. That funky jump shot and all, man. And it never panned out, but just was what it was. Coop, yes, sir. What's up, Brody? Glad to have you in here real quick. We've been going pretty strong. Loved how many lobs we threw tonight. Hope we continue to do that. Got us a lot of good shots. Yeah, 100%, 100%. I think they offered a lot because they don't think we'll win many temp offs. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Speaker was good tonight. Mm-hmm. I like the Arby's sandwich for getting 111 points. They did a few years this year. Swig if we win. It's a Rice Krispie treat, not a drink. I get Kessler involved if we win. Look at that. Yep. When you share the ball and share the love on offense, everybody wins. And then the team wins. And then everybody's happy. It's kind of self-explanatory. But, all things that make sense aren't always sensible. Uh-oh. I gained 5 subscribers from our video about Sensabaugh and Hendricks today. That's good numbers. My overall click-through rate for the video, though, is terrible. Like, it's 2.5%. And YouTube, I clicked on the informational thing, and it was like, we shared your video with more people than we usually share it with. So basically, instead of sharing it with all of the people that are subscribed to my channel first, they decided to share it with people that may or may not be Jazz fans. And so since, most people don't care about Sensabaugh or Hendricks if you're not a Utah Jazz fan, uh, they showed it to 8,000 people. And I only have 252 views on it. So I feel like once I add more uh videos to the actual games, it'll make more sense to some people because some people really just like the lights, the glitz, the camera, and all that good stuff. Which fair play. Me personally, I like basketball. I'm a student of the game at the end of the day, so I like highlights and stuff like that. I think the only channel that I would watch more so than my own channel would be somebody that like breaks down specific plays of games. And I wish I had the ability and the time to do that because I love those games. Those games. I love those videos. And then of course, you have the goat of all time, Jimmy High Roller, because who doesn't want to be Jimmy for real? I want to be Jimmy. Um, let's see. Or got robbed on that block too. They said it was a foul. Yeah, they said that Kevin Durant had a block on Lowry instead of a foul on that challenge too. So, are we really surprised? I wouldn't say. We talk about Keontae's dunk though. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Straight boomed it. Let's go. Good job. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. People enjoying being all snippy and mean to people on the internet these days. Basically getting small high off of saying things like you don't even watch, bro. These same people ruin politics. Exactly. Keontae dunk was nasty. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like stump the Pels. I'd agree. They should share it to people who go to hoops, or they should share it to people who go to hoops nerd live stream and are unable to comment without paying. The real question, Chase, is who's better, John Collins or Keontae? I gotta go John Collins. I'm not gonna lie, because John Collins had Biombo in a headlock on some Draymond Green on Rudy Gobert type action, and just just hit that. Like that's disgusting. Like that's something I would frame if I'm John Collins, and I'm putting it on my wall. I'm putting it on my wall because absolutely, what John the Baptist, chef's kiss, chef's kiss. He couldn't played it any better, honestly, honestly. You said, yeah, it's tough with players who haven't even cracked the rotation. It's like thinking basketball. Yes, thinking basketball, their content is top tier, my man. Coop, you get it. You get it. Jimmy's sick. I love his fits. Jimmy, I I wish I could have an audience like Jimmy. Jimmy could drop a video about how many times the average NBA player takes a dump during a halftime game, and I would watch the video. That's how much of a good storyteller is. Like, I know I have a good voice sometimes, but like Jimmy, he's also an immaculate script writer, and that's something that I need to add. I need to improve my content creator bag and get my badges up in that aspect because he can just tell a story. And I'm not particular. I can tell a story, but I can't write out the script and then send it to an editor and be like, hey, can you have this particular clip in here at this point and so on and so forth? And can I get this type of audio? Like I'm just not that particularly skilled, unfortunately. But by and large, Jimmy's just that guy, man. And then you have Dink. Don't forget about Dink. But Dink be doing short form content. Let's see. Jason LFAO. I swear Kessler would have had like 10 blocks if they didn't call foul before the shot. Blocked Zion 2 times and was a reach of the foul on the drive. Yeah, I would agree. Collins dunk was insane. I jumped out of my seat on that one. Like, it's absolutely a nasty finish from Collins that time. An actual poster. Keontae's was more of a brochure, but they both good though. Photoshop Draymond and Rudy's face on that. Man, I'm saying facts. The scripts keep you reeled in, but he's perfecting his craft for years. His old vids have a new YouTuber feel still. Yeah, and that's something that you can really appreciate about like the bigger guys in this in particularly like the basketball YouTube space. Because most of us, we all started in some sort of commentary kind of role. Some guys did completely off camera work, so they were just completely like videos and then them talking over the videos, whatever the case may be. But it's just nice to see how some people improved as time went on, and like once I can, make a little bit of money off YouTube. Speaking of which, I bought jerseys. So I'm on the couch right now. And if you I wouldn't advise watching the podcast because I need to revamp it. But this setup is roughly the same as a couch. There's like four lights. It's L from Death Note, Vegeta, Itachi, and then the Akatsuki cloud. And I have obviously my Colin Sexton jersey, but I was like, I can't keep sitting here talking about the Utah Jazz with an old Colin Sexton jersey. So they had the NBA.com was having a sale on jerseys. And I was like, you know what? I have to get me a jersey at some point or another. And so what I ended up doing was, did I screenshot it? They were having a sale, I'm not gonna lie, and it was like an extra 30% off. So it leaned toward me going ahead and getting. I did. So I got a Larry Markkinen, the uh branded purple 23-24 City Edition, the fast break jersey. So it's the purple one. I have Colin Sexton, the like almost highlighter honey type yellow, fast break replica icon edition jersey. I ended up getting Alonzo Ball, a white Chicago Bulls jersey, Alonzo Ball, because I like Lonzo. And then I got a blue Kings City Edition one where the king stripe is down the side. Obviously, more often than not, you guys are going to see the Colin Sexton Jazz one and the Larry Markkinen one, but I really have a strong appreciation for Lonzo Ball and De'Aaron Fox as players, so I had to get their jerseys too, especially because Alonzo Ball one, even though I don't really love the white Bulls jersey, it was $30. It was $31. So I was like, that's a steal. I'm not gonna lie. In the jersey market, official, let me go in and get that. Let me scroll up. I think I'm having a slow moment right now. You doing well, man, with your vids. You'll learn as you go. I appreciate that, Coop. Yes, sir. Getting dunked on while being in a headlock is crazy. Y'all gotta fight. Tiago, I'm saying, man. Ochai's dunk was dirty too. Yeah. Forgot about Ochai's. Nick said I just brought a camera this week and I'm starting long for him. Should be on look out for that. Think you getting in your bag, bro? You getting in your bag, ain't you? Yes, sir. That's all I like to hear, brother. It's about time. Lee, if you're in the chat right now, drop the link to your video because I haven't seen your video yet, man. Drop the link to your video so I can watch it, please. But please with a cherry on top. Ochai dunks like that a lot, and I love it. Yep, I love it. What did I say? Ochai. Oh my. Yep. Second for sure. Chase already knew I had to get me a Sexton jersey. Want to get a Keontae George jersey. Side note, I think there was only like one Keontae George jersey, period, and the rest you had to like do the one where you type in the last name that you want and the number you want on the jersey, which is so disgusting to me. I'm like, bro, this is our starting point guard. Do better, NBA. Lock in. If I knew George would be on the team in 5 years, I'd get it. Oh man, see my dream. If I could create content, would be like John Boys and Alex at Secret Base. I can write and tell a story, but I have no editing skills. I can understand that, Dan. I can understand that. Got to wear a jersey in the video. I will once I get the jersey, so I'm gonna throw a different one on. Especially if I'm feeling real passionate, y'all will know because I'll have the jersey on at the beginning of it. Goopy said, "Damn, facts. I'm in the same way. Yeah, $30 steal. Hope Lonzo gets back on the court soon. You can't even buy fake jerseys for that price. That's what I'm saying. And like, yeah, it's a white Chicago Bulls jersey, so it's not the most aesthetically appealing. But 30 NBA jersey, man, $7 shipping. I still had to get it. That's how crazy it was. Because sometimes the shipping is more often than not worse than the actual cost of the good. Like you might buy something that's like $90, but if the shipping's like $5.99, it make you whole life rethink whether or not you actually want to buy whatever the merchandise is. He said Kessler would be a number 2 option. Yeah, I got to get me a Kessler jersey. It was just that the Kessler jersey was like $79.99. I want to say, or $71.99 with the discount. I think low key. Have scheduled for tomorrow recovering to herniated disc in my L1 and L2. Golly, Lee, what the heck? God, that was not what I was expecting right there. D Will was there. I did not see tomorrow 3 p.m. Okay, cool. We're good, and it's gonna be on this channel, the one that you're subscribed to me on. I'll definitely tune in. I mean, I'll be at my practice coaching the kids. So as soon as I finish, I'll be done around like 4:15, 4:30. I'll definitely be watching it. They have George jerseys in the arena. Ah, sounds right. Sounds right. Makes sense. Put some respect in what I'm saying. Would you do Sexton, THT, Ochai, and two firsts for Zach Levine? Personally, I wouldn't giving up Ochai too much for me. Yeah. Plus, Zach Levine hasn't been playing terrific this season thus far, and he's not the worst fit alongside Lowry, but I would still say that's an overpay for us. Especially for the fact that the Bulls aren't particularly going anywhere anytime soon. It's like y'all don't even know how to use your assets. Why would I give you more assets that you wouldn't know what to do with, you silly goose? You know what I'm saying? Had to do some re-records because they're on the same emotionless takes. It happens. That's so much pain. I couldn't sit for longer than 10 minutes. That's insane, bro. Golly, herniated. I wonder if the arena store does shipping. Cole, I don't know if you get this a lot, but bro, you kind of look like Lil Yachty, low-key. No. Because somebody hit me. I used to have a Gap and I used to have a low cut, so people used to say I look like Frank Ocean. And there's somebody else. Somebody said I look like Anthony Edwards in one of my videos. And I'm pretty sure my hair was like this. And I was like, bro, I'm not even dark enough. Like, yeah, I'm dark, but I'm not that dark. Dang. Like, what? I appreciate the compliment though, because like Anthony Edwards is obviously really darn good at the game of basketball. But I was like, I'm not that smooth. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a guy. I just had to skim down and saw what Coop said. Let me take a second. Lee, do me a favor and drop your channel link in the description so I can go ahead and subscribe. So a lot of us can subscribe actually. Let's see. I want to get a Josh Giddey jersey. I relate to him a lot. Yeah, I definitely didn't misread what you said. Coop, what the Yo, the Josh Giddey memes have been killing me. And like if he's actually his nickname is the Slob Wizard. That's insanity. That's insanity, Dick. Is that real? Like his nickname is actually the Slob. That's actually wild. Like he's got a lot going on, buddy. He's got a lot going on. Nasty work. Being an NBA player and thinking you can get away with that while simultaneously being in the video while the girl's shouting at the top of her lungs, only for the video to drop later. It's crazy. It's crazy. I said it like 20 times. I know, but I want Halliburton so bad. Dream world, dream world, dream world, dream world. He's putting up numbers. Who made a video? Was it Dom 2K or Thinking Basketball? Somebody made a video recently. No, I think it might have been Rusty Buckets, Loki. Shout out Rusty Buckets. He did a video on his main channel comparing Halliburton to prime point guard CP3 to the point where like his assist to turnover ratio, his scoring percentages, that sort of thing was like top tier. 100%. So, Lee said, "Thank you for asking. Already promoted me for my first video. Got to, man. Got to. Lee, you're like the biggest. You are literally. I'm gonna tell you guys something right now. Let me go ahead and put like right now in the chat. We have two undercover superstars in the channel. Between Lee and Dink. Dink, obviously, if you have TikTok, you need to be following Dink if you're not already, because he has a very masterful way of putting his storylines and scripting things. Now, once he gets in the long form, I think Dink will have a lot more immediate success than even me because he has a lot of short form content success. And while some people might prefer my voice and like pitch change when I'm speaking, I prefer Dink's storylines and the way that he articulates the point that he's trying to get across about specific players. It's really direct, really pointed, really shortcut and concise. And obviously that comes from him being a short form content creator. So that's the biggest benefit for him. And then obviously he's going to have that strong base to just go ahead and build straight out of because he's already in the game. That being said, I have on my donations thing from the what you call it, the buy me a coffee thing. Lee has literally donated 10, 35, 60. Lee has donated to me $60. He's also a member on the YouTube, and I'm pretty sure he donated like $5 the one time on YouTube as well. So, oh, and let me not go ahead. Let me not forget to throw in Derek. Let me shout out Derek. Chase donated too. Yup. Derek is right behind Lee with like 40 with what is it, 35? $35 on Buy Me a Coffee. Like, so yeah. If you think I'm not about to shout you out, Lee, you're definitely sorely mistaken because I gotta promo you at that point because the money that I've been getting, I'm gonna put towards the I might do like a dual camera setup, like a camera and a B camera. So one right here and then one like off to the side right here to give just a little bit more interesting like energy about it. Obviously, to get jerseys and stuff for the background, and then also to put forth for the LLC so I can go ahead and separate the money that I make from YouTube from my actual account and really like scale this thing and make it a legitimate business that I can do, which would be awesome. But yeah, man, you said that's real love support, bro. Got to, because you've been showing it my way, man. I see the green. T, you said the Bulls are a playing team best next 6 years unless they have some unexpected breakout player. Literally. Yeah, get a Josh Giddey jersey, but change the number to 15. I'm playing. I'm the same age as the chick anyway, so I'm cool. Oh, Coop, you're 15. Coop, you might be the little brother of the chat then. I think everybody's older than you. I think everybody is older than you, low key. Is anybody younger than 15? Or is Coop the baby of the chat? Coop's our token little brother now. I think that's what we're looking at right now. Sideline out of bounds. Okay. I was about to say, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. Giddy's been good this season apart from the minor mistakes. Tiago. Minor mistakes is crazy. Minor mistakes is hilarious. Oh, you said, bro, I don't know what you let's see. It's not since we're sideline out of bounds. Okay, yeah, because I definitely saw a slob, but I was like, bro, what? Literally, like, what? Let's see. Dyslexic. Wow, Lee MVP. Yes, sir. W Derek. Yes, sir. Do you actually buy coffees? No, I'm not gonna lie. Them Starbucks. If y'all got a girlfriend or y'all know a girl that be always at Starbucks, I'm not gonna lie. The mocha cookie crumble, extra cookie crumble, to die for. That's my zesty moment of the stream. But yeah, that coffee definitely be having me hitting my little happy dance in the car when I'm having a bad day. Um, let's see. Can't figure out how to be a member on YouTube. If memory serves me right, under one of like my regular videos, I don't know if it's under the live stream because obviously I don't have the same view as y'all, but it's on there should be like a join button. There should be a join button. Or if you go to my page, it should be a join button. Dink said, I appreciate you, my guy. Second, I saw your video on YouTube. I reached out on TikTok because I knew I saw the vision. Yeah, man. I'm glad I saw Dink before Dink was famous. Everybody remember Dink's in here. Like, yeah, I'm here. I might be the main attraction and Dink might be the sideshow right now, but it's not gonna be very long before Dink's the main attraction. And I'm the sideshow. Straight up. Let's see. Can you change it from buying basketballs to buying Air Jordans? Buying a pair of Air Jordans. Hey, if it would make people donate more, I definitely would. Monty, yes, sir. Glad to have you in here, brother. Coop, I thought she was older now. I'm 17. She probably is. She probably is low-key 17 right now, actually. I think the original accusations come from her being 15, though. Chase, it took me a while to figure it out. You need a laptop. Oh. Tatum figured out. Tatum got the method, guys. Tatum got the method. Because I know from a while ago, but I'm still the youngest. Yeah, not gonna lie. Basketballs are $250. I'd still have bought 5. Yeah, Lee literally Lee bought me 5 basketballs. I was like, $25? Who just donated $25? Which one of you is this? Lee bought another basketball again. Lee bought another basketball again. Thank you, Lee, for always being the guy that you are. I appreciate that. There's so much support. The best way I like it. So, yep, liking and subbing, getting other people to sub is the best thing to do. Because once I hit 1,000, at that point, really everybody becomes part of the reason why I'm making money. Because then I'm not just surviving off donations. And admittedly, like once I hit 1,000, I like. Let me tell you the let me cook real quick. The biggest difference between just having your regular like the AdSense revenue and being able to go to a brand and be like, hey, I have 1,000 subscribers. Most of my audience, you guys are like slightly older than me actually. So the biggest percentage I have is 36%, I believe. Last time I checked on analytics, are from 25 to 35. And the second biggest is like 27% from 35 to 44 or 30. What is it? 35 to 44? Whichever one. 34 to 45, something like that. But yeah, so that's a very good one to go to add to people with ad suggestions. So it'll definitely be like really big. It'll be really helpful. Like obviously I have a smaller audience than most people, but a lot of people have like a bunch of kids, and kids aren't the most profitable to market towards. But if you can market towards either women, point blank period, or like men, working age males, that usually does the best for trying to get a sponsorship from somebody. So we're in good waters. I like it. I like it. And once I hit that 1K, I'm going to what's it called? Manscaped. I'm definitely hitting Manscaped's DMs trying to be like, yo, I hit my 1K. I got a lot of grown men in the chat. My boys need to shave. Can we broker a deal? What can we do? You know what I'm saying? That guy you said, only time Giddy's girl says no is if he asks if she can go on certain rides at Lagoon. You're nasty. Chase to die for it. Yes, absolutely. There's a join button, but it doesn't show up on iPhone. You need a computer. Definitely didn't know. Reggie Jackson went off today. What he had? What Reggie Jackson had today? W, yes, sir. Tiago just heard a story that Giddy tried to meet up with another 15-year-old girl, but Gail Lewis came out of retirement and stopped them. Real ones know who Gail Lewis is. Man, Gail Lewis in her prime, you know how many stops she had on defense, bro? Just people trying to leave that Walmart store with stealing items, and she just stopped them dead in their tracks. People don't even know for real. People don't even know Tiago. Like on the real, they don't even know. But 18 to 25, yes, sir, Tayan. Yes, sir, Logic. Gail Lewis prime season 17-18. Right there, really with that last year of great prime, with like great prime LeBron in Cleveland, when he was really putting that team on his back with nothing else there. Gail Lewis, same type of thing with Walmart for real. 26-35 game. Yes, sir, Chase. Uh-huh. Good idea. I feel like Manscaped pretty good with their deals. Yeah, they are. Manscaped helped my subs out looking like rags. We got to send them the before pictures, and then after they send us send us the gear, we get purchased up. Send them the after. For that make a good ad, low key. Reggie had 35 of 14 assists on 15 of 19 shooting. Whoo, Reggie, how are you doing, brother? Lee, you said might go to bed here in a minute. I'm acting like I don't have to be up in 5 hours, actually. Side note, partially because I took a nap, partially because I did take a nap because I worked third shift yesterday and then immediately went over to my other job. So I took a little nap after I got off work finally. Gail Lewis got to be involved in the GOAT debate. Yes, sir. Sure thing. Good to hear from one of the OGs. Yes, sir. About to pick him up on fantasy too, expecting to go off against his former team. OG squad. Yes, sir. You already know. You make more money with having an older audience. CPM is higher because the older audience has more money they normally have. There you go. Working age. And obviously 1,000 isn't going to be a significant enough sample size to get real money. But it'll definitely push the needle a little bit. It'll definitely push the needle a little bit, especially once I get started with a couple with a little bit of ads. It'll definitely be something worth looking into. And I was actually thinking about doing like a little bit of a growth channel on the side and making videos about how my channel grew, because I realized there's nobody that does like growth channel videos about earnings and stuff as like a sports content creator. Like you always see it from people that are specifically growth content channels. And it's like, well, obviously you're going to grow because people are wondering how to grow on YouTube, and you make videos about how people want to grow on YouTube. So of course you're going to make money. Like, what? Exactly. What's your takes on the Lightning McQueen strip weathers debate? Stupid. I like all sports. Man, look. He said 26-35 game, man. I hate getting old. I could probably only hoop 5 more years. Like my left knee feels like I'm one drive away from surgery any given moment. Dang, man. We all reached one of the saddest things in the world is like understanding that the ball stops bouncing one day, and you'll just have to watch other people do it and pray, hope and pray that they, love the game the same way you loved it. Yeah, I really felt that one actually. Me in my 20s, I don't know why I just felt that as hard as I did. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough deep sad moments. Let's get back to fun loving. I saw Cars, so we're gonna go ahead and circle in on this. Said uh Cars is a good movie. Cars 2 was peak. Good movie, I agree. Shouldn't be in sports conversations. It's funny though. It's funny, Tate, I'm not gonna lie. Cause like anytime you can have like a group of guys and we just talk about something so goofy and silly for no reason, but at the same time everybody gets super passionate about it. It's some of the funniest moments that are the most memorable when you have the boys around the table ever. And like that's what it was. You said McQueen's such a savage first movie. His lines are so funny. Yes, especially when his sister gets flashed. Yo, it's yeah. Man, I agree. Tatum is mainly a joke, though. Yeah, that too. Also, obviously, to the point where even Stephen A. Smith got in on it. Serious. He has 7 Piston Cup championships. You mean to tell me somebody's better than him? No. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Fairway screws up the road, and he's like, it matches the rest of the town. Savage. I bet those. Yeah, those mufflers were gripping. I'd have to agree with you, Chase. I would have to agree with you. Hang on, we gotta run this back. I think I just saw something I was not expecting to see. Thon Maker bought me 5 basketballs. This is obviously not the actual Thon Maker. Which one of you? Which one of you's buy me a basketball thing is Thon Maker, so I can give you your due praise. This is a Thon Maker bought you 5 basketballs. Keep doing your thing. Like, be for real, twin. Thon Maker, who is he for? It's the real Thon Maker. He told me, man, tell Thon Maker me and him need to collab. Man, we need to get a video together. Talk to him for me. Translate for me. Bought 5 address. It was you, Tate. Appreciate you, buddy. Honestly, best part of game nights. Yes, sir. Do our best. Thank you, bro. Make life better. I do try. You know, you can only, I've realized like, you don't have to agree with anything that anybody ever says. I say this religiously. You don't got to agree, excuse my language, but you don't got to agree with shit anybody says. But you should always seek to understand. Because in that sense, it's one of those, you can learn a lot and enjoy a lot from just being around the right people and being able to being in areas and spaces where people just share ideas freely. You can agree and disagree as much as you want to, but as long as everybody's on the same page and just vibing out, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the 8 if he didn't help strip weathers finish that race. For real. Spit facts in this chat. Yes, sir. Let's go, Don. Ding. In fact, Stephen A. just pull that out of the spot and makes him go. Don Maker, he told me he bought 500 for a ding. It wasn't me. Oh, it wasn't Tayan. Coop, it was you. Appreciate you, Coop. Bro, Coop, bro, you need to save your money. You're still in high school, brother. You got. I appreciate it though. That's real love. That's real love. Had to show love to the content hustle. Appreciate you for real. Yo, peace. Another lit stream. Night, Tiago. Appreciate you coming in here, man. Straight from the beginning. See ya. Oh, you just graduated? Dang, you graduated at 17? Okay, Coop. Let me find out. You really got them smarticle particles on you for real. Yes, sir. Just graduated. If I'm gonna spend, it's gonna be to a good cause. Hey, definitely good cause. You said when are you gonna hit 1K? Taylor said December 24th. That's the goal. That's the goal. I want to hit it before Christmas. Now, for reference, right now, right? We are staring down the barrel of me having 760. So I need 240 left. Sure, yeah, that math is mathing properly. I need 240 more subs. Right? It's gonna be tough to do. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely doable, but I'm about to make a post and be like, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, what can I do to make you subscribe? Because at this point, I be having videos that have 1,000 and 2,000 views, and then the people don't subscribe, and I'm like, bro, y'all watch the whole video, fam. Y'all be returning. Like literally, I have like, let me pull up this number so that I'm not misleading. Over the past 28 days, I've had 2.5 thousand returning viewers. Subscribe, please. You don't even got to donate, fam. Just sub, please, please, bro, please. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, family. Lee says Smarticle Particles, love it. Yeah, man, got to be PG-13. Add a little bit of spice to it here and there. In Australia, everyone's either 18 or 17 when they graduate. Really? That's interesting. And the US is always like really 18. I mean, you have a couple 19-year-olds, but usually it's 18. It's usually 17 if they were born like in like past October. So if you were born late September, October, November, December-ish, you might get away with being 17, but you usually have to take a test to start school early. Get you two more, I bet. Yes, sir. Be fair. 750 to 800 is the hardest during the 1K climb. I'd imagine it is. I've really like I've hit the proverbial wall. Um, I'm gonna find a way to get through it, but I think the live streams also help me a little bit because we can always try. We can also bring in like a couple extra people. Like I'm pretty sure like at least 2 or 3 people subscribed today alone from joining the live stream. So that was really good, and I hope they enjoyed their time, hanging out with us and stuff like that. Because that's what we do it for, right, boys? Well, obviously, we enjoy talking to ourselves, but when you can always bring in a couple extra people to have fun, that's always enjoyable too. I'd say. Um, I got 2 more friends. That's real, Tay. Lee said, that being said, I'm gonna put like and sub in all my comments from here on out. But Dan, you said my bad dog didn't mean for it to be sad. Trust me, just to a white guy still said his spot 3 days when I'm 60. Hey man, nah, it gets real though. It gets real though. Life's so serious, you don't make it out alive. So you just gotta enjoy the experience for what it is. And just hope that you gave it everything you had in the moments that you had, and you make the most memories as you go about it, because there's nothing worse than being alive for a long time and not having any memories to show for it. Like even I realized that like more so in high school, because I didn't my high school to me just wasn't that important. It was important in the fact that like I got really good grades, but like the actual social aspect, I kind of wish at times I did a little bit more, just because for me it was always like, oh, I need to make sure I get a good job so I can make money, and then I can have the opportunity to do certain things. I'm like, yeah, that's cool and stuff. But then you have some people where like they have friends from high school, and I'm like, you have friends from high school that you still talk to on a consistent basis? What? Whereas my friends are mostly like from college and so on and so forth. It's interesting. Life is interesting. Chase, you said I have 6 channels. I didn't even think about that. You have 6 channels? Like that you post content on? Chase, we need the lore on this. 6 channels? Talk to me. There's Tyson. I was trying to stay on just long enough so I could catch Tyson in the chat. What's up, man? Yeah, especially since you DM me and let me know. Um, Probably gonna spam the please smash this the sub button like 10 times. Please, bro, please smash sub, bro. Like sub takes 2 seconds. It do for real. Gotta get on your knees and beg. I'm saying, like on some I show speed type. I gotta act out of pocket. Get on your knees and tell me you love me. The 14 people in chat each makes 18 accounts. So you can get to 1K for real. Interesting thought. Yes, sir. If you haven't liked, hit that like button. Helps the algorithm a lot. Yeah, one person watching right now hasn't liked. That's real. That's real. You said there are these Zion meat riders and sat next to me. I'm weak. Hey man, I'm not gonna lie. I love me some Zion Williamson. Back when he was in high school, because he played at Spartanburg Day in South Carolina, and I'm in North Carolina, so I got to see a lot of more of his tournament style games and stuff like that. That was cool. Obviously, I wasn't a Duke fan, but watching him play at Duke with alongside Cam Reddish and RJ Barrett, oh goodness, peak. That was peak times. Right after I got to enjoy Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox at Kentucky the year before. Peak, bro, peak. It's just great stuff all across the spectrum. But yeah, unfortunately, he had to take the L today, because he played us. Woo. I made skating videos a while back when I was a kid. Made me and my friends being cringe compilations, nothing big. Okay. We head out. See you all next time. Appreciate you tuning in like always, Logic. Yes, sir. Fun to watch. I'm glad he was playing. Just not meat riding. Hey, they got to meet right now because the thing is, as injury prone as he is, they might not get another opportunity. The last channel was me testing out Sony Vegas, and it was gaming and drunk skits. Hey, got to take shots in the dark sometimes, man. I'm saying. JC tried to sell. Other than that, good game. Love to see Key, THT, and JC both surprisingly had. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. They had some really good assist numbers. The shooting splits were very negative, which was a problem. But they were so good just passing the rock that it kind of made up for their like a days ago passing issues. Which fair play, you know what I'm saying? Gotta appreciate the little things. And give credit where credit is due, even though we also have to give them proper criticism at the same time, which I definitely am one to do. 100% so, actually. From the last 28 days, 40% of our views have come from people that are subscribed and 60% from people that aren't subscribed. Like, bro, lock in. Sub to the channel. Obviously, they love it. They're eating it up. JC with 10 assists. It was weird. I like it though. Yeah, definitely got to. We gotta appreciate it. Honestly, I like what I see from here. They just getting coached up THT and JC to patch and Key to shoot. They just had out of body experiences. They had a little Freaky Friday going on. Just really switched it up. Big Yurt be getting after it. Night all. See y'all next time. Try to tell others to work. Check out the channel if it comes up. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Glad that you got to spend time with us today, Dan. Get some rest, man. Cookies if we like and sub. If I had cookies. If I had cupcakes, I'd give it to you like I'm EDP 445. Unfortunately, I don't have cupcakes. Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm feeling a Yurt 7 video tomorrow. Low key. It might be time. It most definitely might be time for Big Yurt to get himself a vid. I think he's earned it. Got free Chick-fil-A and McDonald's. And McDonald's at the game? That's crazy. What do you have? Man, I don't even know. Really nothing. Do it, bro. You're a good fan base from Miami too. Oh, that is true. And he's international. Like since I do jazz content, like 16% of my views come from Finland. And since Finland, I believe they use euros. I wish Finn was still in here so I could confirm that. But I'm pretty sure they use euros, just like most other European nations. But obviously that money is worth more. The euro is worth more than the American dollar, which means it's good for ad revenue once I actually do start clearing. Once I do clear that 1K mark. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely yeah. So Big Year is the move tomorrow. Say no more. Say no more. Set upper bowl like row 3. It was cheaper, so big W. Mm. That's real. I always sit nosebleeds for the most part, but right at the front in the middle. Mm-hmm. So they do use. Yep. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So that'll do. That 15%, that 16% will do wonders for my long term monetization. I need to create a list of like companies that I'm going to pitch to once I pass my 1,000 subscriber mark. My 1,000 subscriber mark. That'll be really good. When the Jazz signed here at the Miami fans came to our comment section and started saying treat them well. Yeah, man. Everybody look. Yurt doesn't do a lot wrong, right? Some days he doesn't have great games, right? But overall, it's kind of hard to hate the guy because he doesn't do anything that like makes people feel any sort of way negatively. Chase it, all right, boys. It's bedtime. I got work in 6 hours. I've got work in 5. I made that sound like it was an accomplishment. It's not. We'll go to the 2 hour mark just for the watch time. I'm gonna post my stream analytics in a post after we close this one out because I'm pretty sure this might be like the best one. He said, "Don't one up me, bro." Literally. What somebody made a meme about that one time where it was like, "Don't don't trying to flex your own misfortune is crazy." Talking about people that'll be like, "Oh, well, I had to sleep on the floor. Well, I had to sleep on park benches growing up. Oh yeah, well I had to sleep under a bridge." It's like, bro, that's not a flex. It's literally like you were very misfortunate. You were very unfortunate, bro. But yeah, not doing an all nighter. Not today. Not today. One of these days I will. One of these days, I'm not gonna lie. I might just have to. I wish I could do like a sleep stream, like you know how streamers be doing on Twitch, where they just literally lay there and they have the donations turned on so it reads the audio out. I would like to be able to do that. I'd like to be able to do that. That would be nice. Easy money too. But then again, I probably wouldn't be able to sleep because I'd be like, people are watching me. And then I have a dream about people watching me. But then that'd be good content because I wake up and tell you guys about the story. That'd be wild. Tyson, you said trying to do as many home jazz games as I can. Understandable how he plays element. Hey, I definitely understand, man. One of these days, I'll make my way out there. I don't know when it's going to be, right? I would like for it to be this season, really, which is why I really want to be monetized before the end of December. So, like those first checks, like February time, if I really get a good check, I'm gonna see a March game. I want to see a March game. Or if that what do you call it? If that January check really hits, speaking it into existence as the girls do, manifesting, you know, then yeah, that would definitely be nice to come out there. Bring a camera with me. Be like a real YouTuber, like a real annoying content creator that also happens to be black and just goes around harassing people the entire time. Be great content, right? He says it wouldn't be the first time we've seen you not off on stream. Yo, Deke, I would definitely be having my days, bro. Like I took a nap right before this one, so it wasn't as crazy. But like there'd be some days where it'd be like, bro, I'm so tired, but it's like the boys need me. I told them I was streaming tonight. I gotta get on here. And I get on there and it'd be like 30 minutes and I'd be like, bro, I'm selling right now. I'm selling right now. And I try to play it off and I hit one of these. Or I just sit here. And like the way the lights are situated, I always look down in the direction of a light. So it's almost like if I get too tired, it feels like I'm going to heaven, like I'm about to get my soul sucked out of my body. And then that wakes me up. Or that keeps me like just conscious enough to like and look back at the camera kind of thing. If the Jazz ever win a title, we can do an all-nighter live stream. I was about to say exactly what Titan said. That's the dream, Monty, for sure. Jazz 2064. I read that like somebody running for president. I definitely read that as somebody running for president. Utah Jazz for president 2064. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Somebody donated me money. Dang. Dink bought me a basketball. Shout out Dink. Yes, sir. Somebody else did too, though. It's not popping up right now. I know somebody else did. Maybe not. Maybe I'm tripping. I could be. But yeah, man. Everybody's been real supportive. Core audience right here. And now we're up to 165 on here. I've also made. Can I? Will y'all be able to see? I'm gonna show y'all. Maybe if the camera autofocuses. It might be backwards for y'all, but like $28 from the supers on YouTube and the memberships isn't bad. Obviously, like sometimes I think about it and be like, if I had like 10K subscribers, or even if I didn't have 10K, if we had 2,000 subscribers and 1,000 of them all had like a tier 1 membership, I would be able to do YouTube every day because I'd be making $5,000 a month. And at that point, I would probably still work full time, but I wouldn't work on weekends anymore. Like I would quit that weekend job so fast. And I don't mind the security thing because it's a nice change of pace. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's fun some days. Other days when people are complaining about noise complaints, I'm like, bro, just knock on your neighbor's door and tell them to turn that S down, please. Just tell them to turn the volume down. Why do I have to drive 20 minutes out of my way to come knock on your neighbor's door and tell them, hey, your neighbor feels a little uncomfortable. They're trying to sleep. Just knock on the door and be like, hey, yo, turn that down, please. I got work in the morning, brother. You know what I'm saying? But definitely will move down to just the one job. And I can like edit and stuff at that job while I'm doing it. So that sort of thing. Awesomeness. Blizzard 761 subs. Yes, sir. I'm guessing you were the 761st. I love it. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Glad to have you as a part of the community, and I hope you love the content that comes following. I always aim to impress, man. The guys will tell you. All these videos. I think one thing that really throws me off is like I know on YouTube consistency is really king. It's really king, really key. Oh, by the way, wait, did Lee leave the chat already? Lee, did Lee leave? He never dropped a link for his channel. Lee about to get punched. You can't just donate money and leave like that. How do you think I feel? Oh, there we go. I get that. My neighbor's having to party 2 years ago. Went over there and told them they have a newborn. You're keeping it up. Unless you want to back out to sleep now, yeah. The rest of the week, didn't I? No, did I miss it? Did I miss a link? Drop it one more time for me, please. Pretty please with a cherry on top. Because I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe to it now. Actually, um, wait, what did you send it on? Did you send it to me? You sent it to me on IG. Is that where you sent it to me? Oh, where did you send it to me? Lee. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I thought you were dropping it in here. Lee, where did you send it to me? Take note. Yep, take note facts. Yes, sir. You'll send it here, Lee, so I can so do something. Something so ace about shorts is that you'll randomly get a video with like 10 views. I don't know why, but it feels like a wasted video. Nah, that's true. Some people said when that happens, just change your title and repost the video and it'll get sent out. I realized like when I was posting one of my podcast clips, I put feminism as a hashtag and in the title. And the video got like 3 views in the first 2 hours. And then I literally just changed. I took out the feminism tag and switched the title to not include feminism, and then it went up to 2.5K. And I was like, bro, are you serious? So we don't talk about feminism on here. He said, real to NBA. Is it at, if I look it up on YouTube, is it at uh real to NBA? I'm about to look. Real to NBA. If I switch it to change the filters, change it to channels, and go back. Of course, he pulls it. It's a Kenny for real video. Wow, that's not what I'm looking for. React. I had a sped moment. I apologize, Lee. I definitely apologize. React to NBA. See it. Switch it. Change my filters. Channel. Go back. Oprah side comes up first, bro. I'm about to click your link. Hold on. I see you sent it to me on IG. Yeah, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this right now. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and open in browser. Okay, React to NBA. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, okay, so yeah, it's literally at React to NBA. I just subbed. And as a matter of fact, I am going to go ahead and go to one of my other channels and add React to NBA and subscribe to that as well. And then I will go to my last channel and do the exact same thing. Because of course I would. That's what I do. At React to NBA. Yep, there we go. Nice. There you go, Lee. So now you have 3 subscribers from me personally. And I know some of the boys from here, of course, because we're all W supporters. You know what I'm saying? Um, uh, uh, uh. But do I do that right now? Yes, sir. Scheduled for tomorrow, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Yup. Real love right there. Of course. You already know. We're family in here, man. It's like Mountain Time. Mountain is your PFP. Yup. East Mountains of Utah. Yes, sir. Bet found it. Jazz Mountains. What's up? Yo, thank you so much. Thank you all very much. Really appreciate the love support. Sub too, of course. Yeah, man. That's what we do. We're all a family here. So that's how it works. That is how it works. Wouldn't have it any other way, honestly. Is it wild that one time I used to wish that I could have been a part of a content creator house? Like I felt like that would have been so awesome. Maybe that's wild. I just thought that would have been awesome to do. We appreciate you too, Lee. You are an integral part of our community, and we couldn't do a lot of. I couldn't do a lot of stuff that I do without you. There's you, and in the very beginning, um, I don't know if it's gonna show, if it'll focus, but this is actually a text message log that I screenshotted from one of my original video viewers, like when I had like 10 videos out. Stephen Curry, 6868. I have no idea what bro's doing right now. He hasn't commented under my videos anytime soon, but he literally, when my views were like in the 30s and the 40s, he, under one of the videos, he was like, keep uploading, I'll keep watching. And that really just kept me going. Like in the very beginning, like before I had Lee, I had Stephen Curry 6868. And I have no idea who that is. Like to this day. To this day. But that was like, I kept it as my phone background because like any day where I don't feel like posting or I don't feel like doing something, I remember like in the very beginning when you had nothing, there was one guy that was really sitting there telling you that you really could do it. So you, at the very least, you owe it to him to see it all the way through. You owe it to him to see it all the way through, and at the very least, try. If you fail, so be it. You know what I'm saying? If you fail, so be it. But you have to, at the very least, show up and give it everything at the end. I'll tell you right now. It's at Stephen Curry 6868. Yeah, so it's not a C. No, no, no. It's the full thing typed out. Um, I dreamed to be a content creator, but I failed. Hey, Tyson, it's never too late, brother. You're not that old, are you, Tyson? You're literally not that old either. You said I only got 100 subs on YouTube, so I went to TikTok. Got about 6.3K followers on TikTok. Can't get any more followers. Hey, sometimes you gotta. It takes a lot of swings and hits in the dark. I'm not gonna lie. Like right now, I'm seeing a lot of unprecedented growth because a lot of people, it takes them years to get to 1,000 subs. But I have to sit back sometimes and actually be appreciative of the moment. Like I've made it this far in realistically like 5 months, right? Because I really started posting consistently in like either the last week of June or the last week of July. I'll say the last week of June because I was doing like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I switched to doing it almost every day after that. So it's like one of those. You just gotta keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And I'm appreciative because like as soon as I saw like the jazz community was like really welcoming and everything, I was like, definitely hands down 10 out of 10, gotta go this way. It's the most successful route immediately, and it's going to be one that I would not hate doing. And that's what it comes down to. Like a lot of times there's some people that just hate their jobs or that are in content creation but hate the type of content they create, but because nobody watches their other videos that they actually enjoy making, they just do what pays the bills. And like I don't have that problem. So it's like it's really nice, I would say. Uh Lee, you said, well, now you are the content creator house. I'm saying, I only got hers. We saw that one. Wouldn't have had all my stones to start my channel without you. Gave me all the inspiration. Hey, man, here we are. Here we are. Going fast, bro. I'm saying, I'm really trying to make it happen. What's good, Cole? Derek, yes, sir. Derek, we were just talking about you earlier about how you low key were going band for band with Lee and my buy me a coffee donation link, and everybody was like W Derek, even though you weren't in here. Um, it's always been sad when the guy that was there from day one fades away. I'm saying, because it'd be like, bro, do you see me? Bro, do you see what I become? Look at me, and he's just not there. It's a matter of time before you get a video with like 60K views, bro. When that happens, the thing is, I need to drop a genuine banger. Like I can feel it in my gut. I'm one real for real banger away from like passing 1K. Like if I get one really, really just like mm, chef's kiss, right? Like I might do a video about Keontae George in his rookie season so far, or I might do it about Lowry Markkinen. And I'm gonna do it like completely scripted. It might have a little bit of face cam in it, but for the most part, it's gonna be completely scripted. I'm gonna send it to my editor, pick out the perfect clips that I want to add to it across the entire video, make the video like 10 to 14-ish minutes long. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the way. And I can feel it too. That's the thing that pisses me off because like I know if I can just put all the pieces together one good time, I'll hit 10K in like a week. And if I don't, then I'm gonna be like, oh, I might actually be in trouble. Maybe I'm not actually cut out for that. I would have that epiphany. I'm not gonna lie. But I think I'm really one video of like captivating and catching the younger audience's attention from hitting that. And then I'll really be there. Um, Started TikTok like 2, 3 years ago. Like last year, I haven't done anything. Still upload, but they don't even get one comment. I'm only 18. Yeah, bro. You're not even done yet. You've got a ways to go. You've got time because I'm 23, right? And I've really just like had the opportunity where I funny story. Some of them heard it last time where I was like, or no. I did an interview on a podcast, and I was like, I never told the guys how I actually became Wraith Hoops, and it was one of the things where like I had a podcast and I started out doing a podcast thing first, and then I was telling my brother, one of my brothers at the time, that I needed him to do something for me. He's like, "Okay, you bum, how about you post a video and make it and drop a video for your own channel?" And he had me so pissed that I did it. Like that's the origin story. I was so pissed that I dropped the first video, and then I kept going from there. And we just, here we are, which is definitely something to be happy about. And I see now we're here now, right? And we're after 6 months, but 1K is around the corner, then 2K, then so on and so forth. And I really could see like in a good 2 years, like between right now and like next December, making substantial money from it for one. And then for two, eventually making money to where my regular 9 to 5 job becomes obsolete. And that would be awesome because at that point, I can just invest in other aspects of life and I can. I look, always wanted to have an AU team. Like how they have like Team Wall, Team Durant, all those. Like it'd be nice to have like a travel AAU team. It'd be kind of lit. Or even if I just poured money back into my original high school. I mean, like that'd be fine too, I guess. But yeah, Tyson, you got time. You've definitely got time, bro. Derek, you said yes, sir. Haha, happy to hear. I've been away for a while lately, brother. Had a family loss, but I'll be back in the live supporting again now. You doing okay, man? Yeah. You always got the Wraith fam, Derek. Of course. We're always gonna be here. We can't actually do it. We actually can't. Like I realized one thing I really realized was a lot of times, particularly for guys, there's not much you can actually do to help but listen. And that's why finding a really good woman these days can be difficult because a lot of them don't simply understand it. Like, I don't think they understand how good a hot meal, a hug, and a soft voice can make a difference. Crazy take. But like those three things, like at the end of the day, you're going to have your own problems to begin with. And a lot of times the people around you can't actually help. Like, for example, in Derek's situation, like, you know, we all reach that point in life eventually and it's tough, but we don't have like it's good to have a support system in place to where even if they can't actually do something and take the actual pain away, they can entertain you or you have those friends where you're having a really sucky day and you have that one friend that's just gonna crack 1.5 billion jokes. He's gonna be like, you're gonna look at him, you're gonna be like, bro, you're so stupid, but you're so funny. And it just takes your mind off of the stuff like that. And it's nice to have those types of interactions as well. And to a certain extent, that's why I want to make sure like this channel is like a really family oriented type deal because at that point everybody's gonna know everybody. Like somebody pops in the chat. It gets to the point where like we even saw it today. Like people that haven't been in the chat in like 2, 3 weeks pop back in the chat. We're like, yo, and everybody greeted them because we all know everybody. It's like a whole interconnect. And right now it's like 20 of us, right? But it's awesome because we're all here. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Kuzi? Just happened to be on just in time for to catch you. How's the Pelicans game? It was really good. THT and John Collin, or excuse me, Jordan Clarkson didn't shoot well from the field, but they both put together what 17 total assists between the two of them and only one turnover. Amazing, amazing masterclass from a playmaking standpoint from the two of them. Overall, we shot well from the field. Overall, from the field, we only shot 42%. From the 3 point line, though, we shot like 30, was it 35%? Did I say 35.5%? And while the Pelicans shot 50% from the field, they hit 10 less threes than us. We hit 17, they hit 7. So that ultimately ended up being the difference. And we didn't turn the ball over that much. That combined with them not having CJ McCollum playing, and we took care of business. So that was definitely good. Heard y'all should trade some of y'all pieces like Larry JC to contend that should build around Keontae and Walker. Could, but I think we got a little bit of time to play with. And I don't want to rush the timeline too much. I think that might be the biggest, the only real difference. There, you said that's real. Another note, you probably already talked about it, but that Keontae dunk, yes, sir. You already know. You already know. I wouldn't say we were debating about it earlier. Actually, I personally I'm on the camp where I'm like, I love the John Collins ones. The John Collins one. He put that boy in a head. He put that man Bismack Biyombo in a headlock and boomed on him, John the Baptist style. But this Keontae George one was definitely one, like you said. Yep, it had the crowd erupting. It had everybody going crazy. Gotta love them all. Gotta love them all. Especially builds confidence in your young players. Everybody feels the swag. Everybody's feeling like the energy behind it. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We really been vibing for a minute, y'all. It's good stuff. Did Keontae just stop passing this game? He didn't stop passing necessarily. He just hit a couple more of his shots, and then what's his name? Clarkson and THT were really passing well this game. So it kind of alleviated the stress of the need for him to be a playmaker because two other guys were being really great playmakers. So it was more so less it was less so like him not being a good playmaker and more so other guys being so good he didn't have to do it. That's my interpretation of watching the game at the very least. Because JC isn't usually going to put together a masterclass of 10 assists. But, you know, he did today. So we're going to go ahead and eat it up for all it's worth. Yeah, the JC dunk was filthy too. Someone said Kessler and George, we got the Duke Gobert and Mitchell plus 10 picks. Not exactly, but kind of max. Yeah, I see what they're saying when they say that. I definitely see it. That's hilarious. Plus 10 picks. We can afford to make a lot of mistakes. That's always a great thing. If you can afford to make a lot of mistakes, a lot of things will end up your way. It will end up very well. Let's see. Said I'm curious how y'all had a good start last season. Yeah. Yeah. Mike Conley is very underrated, and that's why he's doing so good with the Minnesota Timberwolves because they have the pieces, they have the ability to do things, and he's like that glue guy who's just good enough right now at his age to not get exposed on the defensive side of the ball and be the facilitator and the table setter for everybody. on offense. I don't think Kessler being out. I think Kessler being out was a big factor in the losing streak. We're not as bad as the record reflects. I would agree, but I would also say that it was also a lot of the lineups that we ran and the fact that they just weren't conducive to success. Like THT as our starting point guard is going to yield benefit. It's not going to be super beneficial to a team like the Utah Jazz. I think we should trade THT to allow him the opportunity to spread his wings and use his full package. But like the pieces that you put around Walker Kessler play out really well, depending on how you do it. And so today we really got to see some good things. We had Yurt to also stagger minutes with Walker, so Walker wasn't expected to carry the entire load the entire time. And then you just drop the load off and have John Collins playing center when he's off the floor. We let Big Yurt get some burn. Big Yurt came in the game. He said, "Yo, let me show you something. I got this 3-point ball, split gat, went 1 for 2 from beyond the arc. Only took 4 shots overall, but he looked good. Had double-digit rebounds. Just overall super consistent, and it yielded benefits in the overall shot total and the fact that they weren't hitting a lot of their threes." You said, fair enough. Now he's with Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, he's a solid role player. He's on the best defense. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Kessler helped a lot. Yep. Hell yeah. We had a lot of THD, Sexton, and JC. Yeah, not the best. I'm going to be dropping a video later on this week about Colin Sexton starting at point guard for the Jazz. Excuse me, not point guard, shooting guard. Because if Clarkson is going to be inefficient from the field shooting anyways, give me Sexton. I'm not going to lie. I've seen enough. No defense plus L shot making skill. Bar today's playmaking. Yeah, give me Sexton. Especially just looking at it from like a historical number standpoint. With both of them as starters. They did almost go to OT. I was at like yesterday's day lineup with Dunn. Yeah. Dunn actually he didn't play in the fourth quarter at all, did he? And I don't remember him playing really much in the third quarter either. He only had 19 minutes of action despite the start. I was hoping he would get closer to like 26-ish. But we do what we can. We do what we can with what we have. Which is the beautiful part about it. Scratch that, guys. Lee made. Aw. Lee made another donation. Shout out Lee. I don't know if he's still in the chat right now, but he bought another basketball, guys. W Mans. Shout out to Lee. Yeah, he did have a DMP today. Would you mention that? That we didn't really have anything to eat at the house, but I also wasn't trying to spend money because I'm kind of broke right now. But ground turkey with buffalo wing sauce and barbecue sauce mixed together into it. It's cold now because obviously we've been on stream for 2.5 hours, but before that it was warm. It's just something to hold me over because I don't need to eat too much. Especially with it, it's 2 a.m. now. It's actually 2 a.m. on the dot now. It's more stream. Man, look. Let's see. Also unrelated to the Jazz. Yeah. WE. Yes, sir. He's still here. Y'all made my night. Thanks so much. Yes, sir, of course. But Super Team Clippers got destroyed by Reggie Jackson and DeAndre Jordan. Crazy storyline to have in 2023, though. I know, right? First time since 2019. That's diabolical. He said fire for a budget meal. Bro, if I had a tortilla thing, I would have put it in there. That's why how I really wanted to eat it, but I had to eat out of a bowl because I didn't have that, and I wasn't about to put it on toast or bread. Yeah, Jokic, AG, and Murray all injured. Wow. So yeah, he got in his bag. Sick though, good for DeAndre Jordan. I remember when DeAndre Jordan, yo, Lob City Clippers, bro. Lob City Clippers. Tell me y'all remember that. Tell me y'all remember that. CP3, prime Blake Griffin, prime DeAndre Jordan. I don't think there was a better time in basketball. Call me crazy. But seeing Chris Paul at all of 6'1" throw the ball up in the air and watching DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin just snatch it out of the air 20 feet from the rim and just boom in that thing. It wasn't anything like it. It was murder at the rim every time. I go back and I watch those highlights all the time, man. It's like, bro, that was a time. That was a time, bro. It looked like he was in his prime this game with the lobs, bro. It was insane. I'm gonna have to watch the highlights, Koozie. I'm not gonna lie. I have to watch the highlights now because I'm getting nostalgia. Facts, dude. The D Rose era too. Yup. Dirk, Tim Duncan. Yup. Blake Griffin could jump over a car, bro. Yes. W era. Those were glory days for me. Dirk and Tim was 2000s, bro. Man, look, it's crazy because I actually have to watch LeBron play. I absolutely have to watch LeBron play before he retires. I will not be able to forgive myself if I never see LeBron play and I never breathe the same air in the stadium. And it's like, no me writing, right? But LeBron to me is the greatest player the game's ever seen. And I know the take going around where people are like, real hoopers know KD's a better player than LeBron. Cut that out. He might be like one on one. If you're in a back gym, you probably want KD. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I could see that. And both in their prime, you might want KD. Unless you like getting buckets too, then you might prefer LeBron because he's more likely to pass the ball to you. But for somebody with my play style, I probably play better with KD just because I know if I get the board and I give it to KD, KD will go crazy. You know what I'm saying? But nah, like pound for pound, if you don't know what the rest of your roster looks like, you're picking LeBron because no matter how good shooters you have or bad shooters you have, how many bigs you have, how many not bigs you have, how many if you have a guard heavy team or whatever the case may be, LeBron works so ambiguously across all those. So for that reason, I would have to pick him. But like, still, I got to see him play live one time. I got to see him play one time. It's a glory days for me. They're 10,000 to the 10s because the Heat choking. They retired 16-19. Facts. Yeah. Lakers got blown up by 44 points. LeBron won. Yeah, TBH is insane. What he's achieved, I'm saying. KD are at least, yeah. I've seen LeBron play 4 times, all versus the Jazz. Sucks because at that time I was more of a LeBron fan than a Jazz fan. And he just sucked in Utah. There's no like real hype when you come to play in Utah. Like there's not like that same like energy where it's like, oh, you hate somebody on this team, so now we're about to really go after it. Like he's never really had those type of players against when he played against Utah. Bro, I'm saying the exact same thing, bro. Brown this year, I can't believe I haven't seen him play yet. I'm saying, bro, just past creating all-time minutes. Whew. He's got some dang mileage, bro. He's gonna be in a wheelchair when he's like 80. Well, I mean, a lot of people are, but like 70, bro. I can't imagine what his knees are gonna look like. Cause you see like Isaiah Thomas and those boys, Kenny the Jet Smith, we be seeing them and they be knock knee crazy. I can't imagine but LeBron's recovery is a little bit different too. Teams are so bad. He has 39,000 points. Mm-hmm. Diehard Jazz fan, but when we rebuild in the past, I would follow LeBron. Mm-hmm. LeBron have like a 10-game losing streak against the Jazz. Wouldn't surprise me. I think he might get 20 All NBA teams, which is a record for the most all time. Yup. Dude, bad in Utah as he is at 3 free throws. Still pretty decent, but bad for LeBron standards. Yup. See, you got to clarify. Derek, I love how you had to clarify that one right there to make sure everybody's on the same page. That's how it be for real. But I always say Michael Jordan is the go, but to me, feel better about the Jazz not winning one in 97, 98. Yeah. Not even Kareem has 16. It's insane how good he was for so long. Yup. Attitude does hurt the opposition. Mm-hmm. Jordan number 2. Yeah. People who don't know, ever been up in a mountain. Mm-hmm. At this point, I used to snowboard before my back injury. We go up a canyon, I barely walk up the stairs without needing a break 2 or 3 times. I believe it. 6 and other LeBron a more complete player. Yeah, me. I see your vision, Kuzi. I see your vision. 100%. 100%, man. Man, we had a really great stream today. Like, I'm gonna make a post after this, trying to entice people to sub and stuff. Those that do frequent the channel, but for some reason don't subscribe. I always wonder, like, how I got to figure out. I'm really just gonna post and ask them how to get them to subscribe because they're returning to the channel. They're just not subscribing. Mhm. Yes, sir. Yeah, better. Hand checking means nothing if zone defense is legal. True. Mm-hmm. I hear Park City, but I was also playing against better players. Yes, on defense. Mm-hmm. Describe more content. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And take me nothing's on defense. But when MJ learn to shoot threes and compensate for that lack of pain points. 8 straight finals, including carrying team, is kind of insane. Yeah. If so, maybe MJ would still be the GOAT. Who knows? And then I say, gotta mean, gotta win. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure. I understand, Lee. Definitely understand. Nothing killed me as much as like when everybody was talking about how LeBron didn't have the greatest pieces in the world the one year to like win games. And then Stephen Curry's response when asked about it in an interview was him saying, bro, don't disrespect those guys. At the end of the day, they're NBA players. And now everybody's like throwing it back up in his place and watching how hard he's struggling to like claw and fight for a W on the Warriors right now. And like they show pictures of him sweating on the bench and they're like, nah, stand on business, Steph. Stand behind what you said. You're playing with NBA players, bro. I'm dying because that's definitely like he was literally just trying to be a good guy and be like, bro, at the end of the day, no matter how good or bad the players LeBron has on his team are, they're NBA players at the end of the day, and you should respect them as such. They're just taking it out of context and saying, oh, nah, you acting like your team is going to be like that, huh? Keep it up. It's bad, low key. They need something. They need something and they need it bad. It's rough because this Warriors, the dynasty is really like they're we're at an end of a time for real. And it's crazy to think that. Like people don't realize how close to LeBron's age Curry is. 'Cause Curry's like what all of 3 or 4 years younger than LeBron. So he's up there. All those boys are up there. Yeah, so yeah, he's up there. People don't even realize that. Yep. As soon as Iggy retired, that's when Wemby started going crazy and Chet started going crazy. So the aliens are really attacking. The Martians are really on the planet with the death being pointed at us, and our lives are over. Iggy was the only thing protecting us, in the words of Max Kellerman, of course. Warriors have a Draymond Green problem. Yeah, I would agree. Draymond's still a good piece for the Warriors. He has his social issues, which are becoming more of antics and sideshow tricks, like parlor tricks, than they are like positive things to have affecting the life, like the livelihood of the team. Mm-mm-mm. What we said. Clay is why, bro. I need to see what's going on with Clay, bro. It hurts me to watch Clay miss like the way he's playing, bro. Like it's insane. He's a good role player, CP3 as well. Yeah, I guess Steph, Herder, Jonathan Isaac. That would low key go hard. Those are two reasonable ones. Clay is what? Yeah, it's about that time as well. I'm sitting here playing like I don't have work in 4 hours. Last night I'll call it try to get some sleep while I'm tired and to sleep on the floor. Yes, sir. All love always. Yes, sir, Lee. And with that, gentlemen, we come to the end of the evening. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and give my signature sign out and we shall have fun. Mac, yes, sir. Good game tonight. Hotter than cold mac and cheese. Well, another great live, Wraith. Appreciate you. Catch you next time. Yes, sir. As always, thanks for tuning in to the live stream. We had some fun. The Jazz caught a W. Always great to have a night like that and see some productive things that we can grow from, learn from, and understand what the future implications are going to be for them going forward into the season. With that in mind, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking. If you haven't subscribed, hope you subscribe. If you did subscribe, if you're already a member, appreciate the support like always. Recommend your friends so we can go ahead and get to the top of the Jazz Mount Rushmore and the Mount Rushmore of content creation. And we'll see how things go going forward, man. With that being said, as always, good morning, good evening, good night, no matter where you're on the globe watching. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Oh, you said. Yeah. Next time. Yes, sir. I'll see you, Dink. I'll see you, Derek. Hopped on late tonight, but appreciate the stream as always. We had to deliver, man. We're family. Tyson W Live, glad to catch the stream in time. Yes, sir. Stayed up just for y'all. I'll catch y'all boys.